And we are live and we're back in the house for match week 21 of the 21-22 English Premier League season, where we are going to review the 8 matches that were played. I had to push it back a bit until the United game was, completed. I actually was going to do it without the United game, but some things came up and I said, you know what, man? Let me just push it back until Monday. I've been quite busy so far in 2022. And that's why you see I haven't really been that active like as usual. I'm really, really active. But for the past couple days, or let's say for the past couple weeks, I have scaled it back a bit. And it might be a bit of fatigue from the grind all throughout 2021. And as we enter into 2022, I'm looking to take it easy and, build up steam slowly before I burn out. You see what I mean? So we got the boy Elias Abs in here. We got Thriller from Manila. Dane Richards coming in and says, we are shit. It's not even funny. Indeed, man. Indeed, United are definitely doo-doo. And we learned that it was reiterated actually today. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that some more. My predictions have been on point this week. In the middle of the week, hell nah. I got my predictions like real screwed up. But guys, it's expected. You can't get them all right though. You really, really can't. So Thriller is asking, Demo, are you going to cover any African action? Well, I'm looking to do that. Definitely, I have to put out a prediction video. I've been procrastinating, but I'm looking to do that though. I have to start like tomorrow, like prepping and get the video done and get it out before the tournament kicks off. I'm hoping to do that, but it's a little difficult because the last time the African Cup of Nations was held, it was actually in the summer. So I had more time to prep. I didn't have the league. I didn't have any distractions or anything. Well, there was other tournaments, but I was already in the mode. You see what I mean? So I'm looking to do the AFCON. I got to still do some research. I don't even know which network is showing the AFCON. I don't know yet. I haven't looked into it. It's been a weird day for me, man. I kind of damaged my laptop a bit. The hinge for the screen kind of got messed up, and I tried to fix it, and I broke like the little touch bar. So I can't really like control the volume and thing from the touch bar anymore, which sucks. This is a freaking MacBook Pro, and I didn't put Apple Care on it. Don't know why. I should have put Apple Care on it, and I would have been able to maybe pay $100 and get it fixed. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I think it's only on BN Sports. I don't have BN Sports. I don't have it. I might have to just get it for the African Cup of Nations exclusively. I'll look into that. But yeah, guys, big up to everybody in the house, man. We're back with another one. Nice to see you guys in here once again. And it's all about consistency. Remember that. Remember the word, consistency. Just getting things done and showing up for every single match week. Doesn't matter what happened. Doesn't matter if there's a snowstorm, a wildfire going on, a tornado. We got to show up and we got to do this. You see what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. Consistency. I got to keep it up for 2022. So, guys, without further ado, let's get into the content. We got 8 games to talk about, and I don't plan to be here all night because I've had a very, very long day, and I got another long one tomorrow. So, let's get into the action. All right. Big up to everybody in the house, man. MVP Kev Thriller. We got Elias Abs, Keon Joseph, Arkansas J. We have Antoine Eugene, everybody, David in the house who says City are pulling away. Guys, I've been told you that. I've been told you that in November. I've been told you that. I'm not surprised. They say nothing new to me. Not surprised. But even with the fact that Man City are pulling away, we still got to talk about the other teams, right? We do. Let's emphasis on City right now. But for match week 21, the results were Wolves 1, United 0. What a shock win. 40 years since they have last won at Old Trafford. Brentford 2, Aston Villa 1. Come from behind win for the Bees. Sting them. Sting them. Brighton 3, Everton 2. What a performance by Brighton and Hove Albion. Leeds 3, Burnley 1. I did predict a win for Leeds as well. Chelsea 2, Liverpool 2. That was a thrilling affair. And I'll get to that one a little later. I got some things to say, so you better stick around to hear what I got to say about that fixture. Guys, if you're in here and you haven't liked the video, make sure you do so. We definitely appreciate everybody who liked the video. Big up to the boy Javale O'Hara in the house, Palomo, all of you guys in here. Appreciate you tuning in for yet another one. If you're watching the replay right now, make sure you smash up the thumbs up button. We'll definitely appreciate that. Arsenal 1, Man City 2 in a very close affair. Spurs 1. Watford 0 in a very super close affair as well. And another close one between Crystal Palace and West Ham United. So that's 8 games for us to talk about. And the first game that we are going to get into, we want to start off with something a bit light. You know what I'm saying? So let's start off with the game between Brentford. Let's start this game. Let's start with Brentford versus Aston Villa. Big up to all the Aston Villa fans who do come here and watch, you know, 80 Booth, the boy Josh from A View from the Stands. Big up to y'all, man. You know, keep doing your thing. So, Brentford 2, Aston Villa 1. This must be a very, very disappointing result for Aston Villa because I think for most part of the game, they were actually the better team. Steven Gerrard not on the touchline. Ollie Watkins also not on the touchline. I didn't really get a chance to make too much, like, you know, write down a lot of notes for this one in terms of changes and all of that. But definitely both teams had to make changes. There's a coronavirus outbreak currently going on across the world. There's injuries, suspensions, you name it. Teams have been heavily affected, and it's been a true test of every team's character. So, look, Steven Gerrard not on the touchline. This has actually been affecting Aston Villa, in my opinion. I think they need Gerrard on the touchline. They feed off his energy. And we learned that from the Chelsea game, and we learned that again from the match between them and Brentford. Brentford actually needed to reply because they've gone through a barren patch as well. EFL quarterfinal loss to Chelsea, losing to Brighton, and narrowly losing to Man City. They had to bounce back in this game against Aston Villa for sure. And this team, man, first promotion to the Premier League, in the Premier League, of course, era. And they haven't been in the top flight for ages. And they're living up to expectations because they're a team that almost got promoted last season, the previous season, and they followed it up with the consistency, and they earned their promotion. And they are reminded us of team like Sheffield United recently, and they actually the fact that they play in that red and white kit really reminded me of Sheffield United. Hopefully for them, they do not get a Sheffield United type season if they survive, right? So big up to the boy Steve in the house, man. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Big up to the boy Steve. Wissa strikes again. Thanks for the super chat, bro, and thanks for continuing to be a member even though you've been busy with other things over on the Newcastle channel and all of that. Big up to you. Big up to, you know, all the folks over there as well, man. Nice to see you in here. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody, including the boy Strasbourg Steve. So, look, Danny Ings scored early in this game. Brilliant skill by Buendia to get away from the defenders, set up Danny Ings, and he put it away, far post, and his celebration was very, very emphatic, to say the least. Look, it meant a lot to Danny Ings because we know how good he could be in front of goal, but it's been a barren spell this season so far. Only his 4th goal, you know, which isn't bad at all, seeing that he's been out with injury. And the 2 new men linking up. Buendia with his 3rd assist. He needs to actually score more goals, if you ask me. But it's good to show up when you need it. And he did in that moment. And Danny Ings with a clinical finish in the absence of Ollie Watkins, of course. Look, the 2 scrap it out. I think Brentford did claw themselves back in the game. But with Aston Villa still dominate in play for the most part. But Johan Wissa, man, ever since I first saw this guy, I think it was in one of the cup games, I was impressed with him. And Steve know exactly what I'm talking about. This guy Wissa has some magic in him. Could remember him scoring 4 goals in one of the games, right? The cup games. And that was a brilliant, brilliant goal. Set up by Mads Rooslev, who's actually now starting to get involved in proceedings for Brentford after coming back from injury. And brilliant play down the right. And to get past Matt Target, who does, you know, have a little adventure streak, a lot of adventure in him. And Mads Rooslev with the cross, Johan Wissa opening up his body, left-footed shot into the back of the net. 3rd goal of the season. We could remember the thrilling goal he scored against Liverpool to earn them a draw against the Reds. So Brentford with the equalizer there, and I think it was a well-deserved goal. That was actually their first real chance as well, and they took it. And I always talk about taking your chances. When you're coming up against opposition who, you know, who has a higher win probability, you got to take your chances, and they did. So 1-1 at halftime. 1-1 at halftime. Brentford did have to deal with some injuries. Sergi Canos going off in the 54th minute. Saman Ghoddos replacing him. And Shandon Baptiste replaced by Matthias Jensen, who must feel, you know, a little happy that he gets some rest because Jensen has been laboring for Brentford. But it's nice for them that they're able to get those guys like Beck Sorensen and Mads Rooslev involved. And these are some Danish guys that, you know, Wolves are Portuguese team, Brentford are Scandinavian, mostly Danish team. So they do have a link with Midtjylland as well. And they recently brought in Midtjylland goalkeeper, what's his name? Jonas Lussel on loan, pretty much with an option to buy. The clubs have links. And there's, you know, Mads Bistrup on the bench. I just like the team, and the team has a DNA, and that's very, very important. That's very important for chemistry and the camaraderie and everything. It does help. It definitely helped. And even with the setbacks from all the injuries, when you think about it, when you think about the fact that David Raya picked up an injury, you have Mbuemo, you have Rico Henry, you have Christopher Aya, who's now back on the bench. They have really been set back. You know what I'm saying? Josh Da Silva, who's big in the promotion bid last season. It's very, you know, impressive what this team has done. 75th minute, Frank Onyeka had a shot saved by Emi Martinez. A very good shot. And Brentford were beginning to up the ante at that moment in the game where Villa's intensity had started to wane just a bit. Nice to see John McGinn back in the midfield as well for Villa. But with Tyrone Mings out, Ollie Watkins out, you know, you're missing some intensity in their team there. Bertrand Traore started for the first time in a while. And, you know, so-so performance. I think he did get a look at that goal one time. He was replaced later on by Trezeguet. So, look, the goal did come in the 83rd minute. And that was a very good goal as well. Rooslev left wide open on the right because the play was built up on the left. And I spoke about Matt Target and his misadventures, I should say. And he was teed up, got a shot off at first. I think that was with his right foot. He got the shot off with first. I think it was, his right foot. Well saved by Emi Martinez. And then the rebound came right back to him like some FIFA 22 type stuff, you know what I mean? And he put it in with his left to give Brentford, at that point, a well-deserved lead, in my opinion. So, for my conclusion, I think Villa had a better first half, and they looked solid for the most part in the second. But Brentford fought and earned the 3 points after Villa slipped up a bit. Danny Ings, he did get a shot saved, close range by Alvaro Fernandez, who I definitely got to give some praises to. And John McGinn did pick up a yellow card, which means that he would miss the next game. That's coming up against Man United. And Buendia had a header saved by Alvaro Fernandez again. So it's important, and I did mention that could be an Achilles heel for Brentford going forward with David Raya out injured. But Alvaro Fernandez, who's there on loan, have really settled into the role and is proven to be an invaluable asset for the Bees. Aston Villa stung on the day. 2-1, Brentford. Look, this Brentford team, man, you got to give him credit. Mads Rosleff Rasmussen, man of the match, king of the match there. You got to give Brentford credit. They're a team that's brave. Very brave. Thomas Frank came out and said, hey, man, we're brave. We're not scared to play any team. And they have really shown that this season. They have really, really shown that, and it's paying off big time. 23 points. 23 points for Brentford so far. 12th. 19 games. That's halfway through. You have done the damage already. Halfway through, the damage is done. Brentford needs literally 15 points. 15 points. I think 38 points would do it. 15 points from 19 games. And it would take a catastrophic meltdown, a capitulation in the second half of the season for them to actually get relegated. Brentford, it seems, are staying up, guys. And we did talk about this a lot, but they did have a very bad patch. I think, in late October, November, they did have a bad patch. And I had to put them on relegation watch a bit. But they have since, pulled things back, and they're looking really, really poised to survive. And not just survive, not even in a relegation scrap, survive. You see what I mean? So, for them, their next game will be against Port Vale in the FA Cup. They will look to stay in that as well. And then they have Southampton, Liverpool again on the 16th without Salah, Mane, and Naby Keita. And who knows? With the COVID outbreak going on right now, you don't know who's going to be missing. Liverpool might hope that these games get postponed, right? Then you got Wolves coming up. Very tough fixtures, we know. Manchester City again. Crystal Palace, Arsenal, who they beat early on. So I think the Bees will be fine, man. They will definitely be fine. As for Aston Villa, I think they'll be all right as well with that win. Brentford went past Aston Villa to, go up to 12th. Villa 13th with 22 points right now. And they've been so-so in their last 5 with 3 losses and only 2 wins. But look, you can't blame Frank Lampard too much because, not Frank Lampard, oops. Don't know how I got that mixed up. Frank Lampard. I don't know why I'm thinking Frank Lampard. Steven Gerrard. Frank Lampard. Steven Gerrard. You can't blame him too much because he wasn't even there, though. So, for Villa, the next game will be against Manchester United in the FA Cup. Then they play them again at home. And we know that United are beatable. We know that. Villa beat them already this season at Old Trafford. So Wolves, City, Liverpool weren't the only teams to beat them at Old Trafford. Villa also did it. Maybe a couple teams I'm not even remembering, though. United have lost so much I've lost track of it. Everton, they have coming up next as well. Leeds, Newcastle, Watford. So Villa got a nice run of games, including the Man United game. I got to put that one in. Both of them. They got to win at least one of those games, right? Either the FA Cup game or the league game. But solid season so far. Villa should be fine in terms of survival. But, it's just for them continuing to try to put together a team and have that identity going so that they could compete for places in Europe. I think that should be the ultimate goal for Villa, not just stay in the Premier League year after year. So, that's my thoughts on that game. Let me know yours in the chat. Big up to everybody, man. Giovanni Leone. We have Gervais Thriller from Manila. Isn't your next game against Spurs? We'll talk some more about Arsenal Spurs soon. You know what I mean? What we got here? Big up to Chase Athletics in the house. Thank you very much for continuing to be a member of the channel. Wissa at FC Lorient last year was fire. That's why he got the move. That's why he definitely got the move, man. So what else we got here in terms of comments? Guys, make sure you like the video. appreciate everybody in here, man. Each and every one of you in here right about now. The numbers might not be sensational, but the fact that you're here right now, it is very sensational. Nippon, bro, what are you talking about? Villa not on relegation watch. Not. Gervais saying, forget the Prem. The biggest surprise of this weekend is that Dom actually got good at FIFA. Man secretly turned in the difficulty down. Bro, don't make me turn the game on to show you I didn't turn the difficulty on. I ain't got time for this. I got things to do. I got to rest to wake up tomorrow to grind again. I'm on the grind every day in 2022. All right? Multiple streams of income I'm working on. Calm yourself down. All right? Calm down. I don't have time to waste to go and show you that I'm still on Legendary. I'm not. I still on Legendary, okay? Didn't turn nothing down. Anyways, what we got here? Nah, man. Just got good out of nowhere. I've been practicing. Practice. It makes you good at things. So that's one game down. 7 to go. Guys, if there's any developments or anything in the news you want to hear my opinion on, please feel free to ask me. I have a show coming up very soon. I've been talking about it where I want to just talk about, you know, things that's going on in the world of football, and maybe then I'll get to clip them out and put them out on my different channels and things like that. But I've been really, really busy, man. I've been busy. So let's continue. The show must go on. The next game that we're going to talk about, Leeds United 3, Burnley 1. I didn't expect anything other than a win for Leeds, simply because they got a lot of bodies back. And for Burnley, they haven't been playing so well. Even though they did get Maxwell Cornet back in the fray, it's just that momentum, man. They haven't had that momentum at all. It's like trying to push a boulder up a hill and letting it go to see if it will continue to go up the hill. You know, it just continues to roll back. And that's what's going on with Burnley right now. And I think they're missing the trick here after having a bunch of games in hand and the teams around them not picking up points. And now they're making up the numbers and they're not picking up points. Burnley are on relegation watch. If there's a team on relegation watch, it's Burnley. And Bielsa must be relieved, happy, and a satisfied man after this win, because Leeds have been struggling big time. And when I mean big time, second season back in the league type syndrome type big time. And this was a really, really important win where it could help them build that momentum. When we talk about momentum, we talk about this. We talk about them getting back to winning ways and just, you know, with their squad getting fitness again, regaining fitness, and just building that, you know, cohesiveness and just continuing to build as a team. So, look, notes. First game in 15 days for Leeds. A lot of players back from injury, as I did mention. But for Burnley, Nick Pope, Josh Brownhill out, Maxwell Cornet back. Tyler Roberts did pick up an early yellow in this game, which means that he would miss the next one. And Roberts have been very good. Let me just put it out there. Tyler Roberts have been very good. Even scored a goal recently and picked up a couple assists. So he'll be a big miss, but the fact that they have numbers coming back, you know, they'll be okay. They will be okay. So 20 minutes. It was a bright start by Leeds. Rafinha and Junior Firpo both with chances, not taken. You know, teams like Burnley would always give you a sniff. And they're not the type of team that, yeah, you miss an opportunity or two, it's going to really, really come back to bite you. Nah. When you play against City and Liverpool and Chelsea and them teams, yeah. But Burnley would always give you a chance. And especially with the fact that Nick Pope is out, still ill. Hennessy, it's like he's drunk. You know what I'm saying? Because ever since he came back in the fray, It's not look good. It's really not look good for Burnley. And I think if Pope was there, maybe he would have made a difference. Or maybe the Hennessy joke was not a good joke. I'm sorry that I, tried to be funny there. But, I'll try to come up with a better Hennessy joke next time, though. So, 32nd minute. Melier with the save. Point blank range. Chris Wood. They are the team that have to take their opportunities when they come their way because, they're very few and far in between. And Wood, he did get a great opportunity against United early on in the game. He didn't score. And yet again, they had there was a few chances for Leeds, but this was a really, really good chance. Point blank range, straight to Melier, saved. Tyler Roberts did get a chance that he headed wide. Luke Ayling with the ball in. And I did put an asterisk next to Luke Ayling's name. And he's one of the players that has recently come back to full fitness. And it's just showing that the team is regaining their identity. When you have players like Matthias Klick, Stuart Dallas, Jack Harrison, Rafinha, you have Luke Ayling involved at the same time. Melier at the back. I know they're missing Calvin Phillips, but they have to learn to play without him. They just getting that core back together. Because in every game when you're changing up your defensive partnerships, everybody's all over the place because Leeds are a team where everybody play everywhere, basically. You know what I'm saying? Except with the forwards playing defense. But Luke Ayling does play as a right back, center back. Stuart Dallas does the same. He play all over the field. And now that players are playing in their preferred positions, you could see a more cohesive and effective Leeds United. And they were teasing towards the first goal. Tarkowski with the mistake. And give away the ball to Harrison, who ran at the defense, got a shot off, saved by Hennessy, but the second shot was put in at his near post with his right foot. Left-footed shot first, saved, right-footed shot into the back of the net, similar to the Mads Rousseff goal for Brentford. That was Harrison's first goal of the season, and that's a shocker, seeing that Jack Harrison was one of the big players for Leeds United last season. So big that they signed him on a permanent basis from Manchester City. If you guys don't know, Jack Harrison was a City group, you could say a City group signing because he never really played for City. But last season, he was involved in 36 matches. He scored 8 goals. He picked up 8 assists. But this season, almost halfway through, he has 1 goal and 1 assist. So you could see the disparity between the performances. And he struggled with a bit of injury. And he just struggled to get his form going. And it looks like this could be changing. Looks like things could be on the uppity up for the boy Jack Harrison. Good goal to give Leeds the early, the lead in the first half, I should say. Not too early. 44th minute, Junior Firpo did get a chance to go 2-0 up, and he put it over. But you can't really expect a player like Junior Firpo, who's a left back, formerly of, Betis and Barcelona, to put those in the back of the net. Chris Wood did get another chance that he leaned back and put it over. I don't know if he was listening to Fat Joe featuring Remy Ma, but he leaned back quite a bit there. And just put your freaking, go over the ball a little bit more, and that would have been in the back of the net. So the fact that Barnes isn't fit, Rodriguez isn't fit, and Chris Wood is out of form, it's really, really affecting Burnley. Big time. Big time. But things did change. Sean Dyche had to rope in and, bring in his talismanic player by the name of Maxwell Cornet. Johan Berg Goodmanson, who's also have not been productive at all. The Icelandic international, I could remember a couple seasons where he was very, I don't want to say prolific, but he was very effective, to say the least. But last season, the man played 22 matches, he scored twice. The previous season, 12 games, he scored once. He had a goodish season in 2018-19, where he featured in 29 games. He scored 3 goals and picked up 6 assists. And he had a good season in the 17-18, where he picked up 8 assists and scored twice. So he's had some good seasons for Burnley. And look, these guys need to step up. 17 appearances so far, 1 assist. And this is the reason why Burnley are struggling. 1 win, solitary win all season. How you expect to win games if nobody's scoring? If only Cornet is scoring, how are you expecting to win games? It explains everything. It explains everything. But going back to Maxwell Cornet, who did come on at halftime, in the second half there as a substitute. He did get a free kick. He was brought down by Diego Llorente, who will be suspended for the next game, by the way, with a 5th yellow. Brought down in the 53rd. Free kick. Stepped up. 54th minute goal for Maxwell Cornet, the former Lyon man, the Ivorian international. Bend it like Beckham past the wall. I don't know if Maxwell Cornet was called up for the Ivory Coast national team, however. If you do have any insight on that, let me know, because I don't have any insight whatsoever on that. I don't. I haven't taken a look at the squads for the AFCON yet. I was waiting until last minute because there's been so many developments and changes and news and withdrawals and all of that. So if you have any information on Maxwell Cornet being in the Ivorian team, please let me know. That was a good goal, though. That was a really good goal. That was a really, really good goal, man. Maxwell Cornet is a player I know very well. And if you guys know your stuff, you could recall that when Lyon knocked City out of the Champions League, it was Maxwell Cornet. It was Maxwell Cornet who was the destroyer. So I know him very, very well. And maybe Raheem Sterling to a lesser extent with that miss, right? So we could never forget that miss. We will never forget it, Raheem. Never. But yeah, Maxwell Cornet, man, with the equalizer. But Bielsa did something here. Bielsa made some changes that affected this game big time. The introduction of Joe Gelhardt and Dan James. Only 2 substitutions made by Bielsa. And those substitutions really affected the game big time. Tyler Roberts with an injury. Gelhardt on. And Gelhardt has been very good. One of their breakout stars of the season. One of their breakout youngsters. And Dan James. Leaving Man United. Leeds record signing. And he must not regret that move, you know what I'm saying? Because I think you're in a better position right now where you're with a team that you could scrap. You're going to get starts. And if he was at United right now, he would have been Daniel. I'm trying to think of something to rhyme with bench. Daniel. I don't want to say Daniel Baines. That's a bit lame, you know what I mean? But he would have been on the bench with boys like Danny Van de Bench and them, you know what I'm saying? That one rhymes. But he came off the bench, and I think only because he's been he was absent for the previous game. And these guys affected the game big time. When I say big time, big time. When you pair up Gelhardt, James, Rafinha, Harrison, you see what I'm saying? It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. But Harrison did come off for Dan James. But when you have players with pace running at you, and you have Burnley, a team that, you know, they haven't really... I could say they've had a stop-start season, and they haven't really put together any kind of consistent performances yet. So they're all over the place. They're the team you want to play. And when you hit them with pace, it's only going to cause more and more problems. So Rafinha had a chance in the 72nd minute that he put wide. That was an open goal that he had to put in, but he hit the side netting. And then the goal came. The second goal came. The go-ahead goal came in the 77th minute. the boy Stuart Dallas. I know of Stuart Dallas very well from when Leeds beat City last season. Matthias Klick teeing up Dallas, and that was a beautiful, beautiful goal, opening up his body to put in a left-footed shot past Wayne Hennessy. That was a lovely goal. 2-1 to Leeds, and with the lead, they didn't sit back. We know they don't sit back, right? We know that. We know that. Burnley could have got back in the game because Leeds do not sit back. But they just kept going. Who knows? Goal difference might come into play later if they do get caught into the relegation scrap. But Gelhardt with a cross to Dan James, and that was a wicked header into the ground. Hennessy getting a touch, and it just looped up and go into the back of the net. 3-1 to Leeds. Dan James celebrated like he had just won the Champions League. Massive win. And I have to say that the players for Leeds United really stepped up. Individuals stepped up. The entire team stepped up. And I think we might see a more united Leeds going forward. Big point, because with that 3 points right now, right? They now separate themselves from Watford, Burnley, Newcastle, and Norwich. That's 6 points between those teams. That's very, very important. They now level on points with Everton with a game more played. And all they need to do is to continue to build on this momentum. It's going to be difficult, seeing that they got West Ham twice, once in the cup, next in the league. They got Newcastle coming up. They got Aston Villa and Everton. But these are teams that they could actually pick up some points against. I think Leeds will be okay this season. I think they'll be okay. There was a little doubt, but I think they'll be fine. Plus, they do host United. We know they're beatable. There'll be tougher fixtures coming up. But I think Leeds United should be fine this season, and they should get a third Premier League season next year. So, for the defeated Burnley. Look, that was only the 4th win this season for Leeds, by the way. So, the wins have really been hard to come by. Burnley, 1 win, 8 draws, 8 L's, 11 points. Guys, I'm afraid to say Burnley could be relegated. It's going to be, right now, it's looking like it's a relegation scrap between Watford, Burnley, Newcastle, and Norwich, with maybe Newcastle United being the more likely team to survive the drop, seeing that they got that money to invest in January. Kieran Trippier in the news, few other players in the news, and it seems as if Newcastle, even Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, if they manage to get Aubameyang and Trippier, who up the quality in terms of deliveries into the box and passing range and everything, Newcastle could separate themselves from newly promoted Watford. Let's just make that one clear. Newly promoted Norwich, and Burnley, who has been very lucky to survive so many seasons in the Premier League. They're a championship type team. So, you know, as I keep saying recently, I won't miss him. I really won't miss him in the league. Sorry, Burnley, but I won't miss you. I really won't. So that's my thoughts on that game. For Burnley, they got fixtures against Huddersfield Town, Leicester, Arsenal, United, Liverpool. Listen, I know it's Burnley and they're capable of getting results, but guys, that might be 4 L's in their next 4 Premier League games. I'm just saying. So, if you haven't yet liked the video, make sure you do so. My throat feels a bit raspy. I hope I'm not coming down with the vid. I don't think I am. I've been out there in the weather recently, so maybe that's why. And today in New York, it's a very cold day. God damn. Whoa. Jesus, it's cold. It's cold. It's really, really cold. So I like to take the time to big up my peeps, man. Jazzy Smith, Lego Dude, Palomo, Online School in the house. What we got? Who else we got? MVP Kev in the house, man. Gervais, Errol Brown. Nice to see you, Errol Brown, who says, Dom, remember I tell you when City take the lead, Christmas, done, it done. Listen, I told y'all since November that what City was going to do. I don't think y'all heard. I don't think y'all believe me. You see what I'm saying? Mr. Barakat Silman, City fans, you guys very likely to get 3 points. It says you gays. I know you mean you guys. I know you mean you guys. But yeah. Yeah, man. Very nice to be back talking Premier League. And Twilight saying, oh, stay away from that Omicron, Dom. Indeed, man. But it's hard, man. It's hard. I gotta be out. You gotta be out there in the world. So it's really hard to stay away from the Omicron, man. I gotta go to work. Gotta feed the family. Gotta pay the bills. I don't know. For some reason, just like the video got kind of yellow, though. Kind of got kind of yellowish. I don't know why. Maybe I need to turn the light up. Let me turn this light up a bit here. I don't know what's going on here. You know, things look kind of yellow there, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. I think it's just my eyes playing tricks on me, man. It gotta be. Definitely gotta be. So, with that being said, guys, we're gonna move on to the next game. And that game will be the match between Everton and Brighton and Hove Albion. Third game, today's review. We got a lot to go. After this, we still got 5 to go. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get it going. Let's get it crack-a-lacking, man. So, Everton 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 3. So, I'd like to take the time to congratulate Brighton, Mini Man City, I like to call them, for a victory. Yet another victory, man. This team, very attractive team to look at. When City is not playing, guys, just tune into the Brighton games. You see exactly what I'm talking about, man. These guys passing range and everything, and just, you know, they're an attractive team to look at, man. I feel for Everton, though, but it is what it is, man. The fans are already turning on Rafa Benitez. Those who, you know, who welcomed him, former Liverpool man and all, they already turning. You know what I'm saying? They're already turning on him. The fans are the way the fans, it's like milk. Doesn't last very long. The loyalty. So look, Everton came off of a very good game against Chelsea. They picked up a draw, but they haven't played in 17 days, which would have affected that little momentum. But if you guys could recall, Everton did play a very youthful team against Chelsea. And, you know, it just amplifies how bad Chelsea have been. You're talking about a player by the name of Ellis Sims. Who knows who he is? Ellis Sims. You had Anthony Gordon, Iwobi. You know what I mean? John Joe Kenny, Jared Brantwaite. All these guys. Michael Keane and Holgate, Godfrey. It was one of the weakest Everton team you could ever see. One of the weakest teams. And they got a point against Chelsea. And I thought they would have gotten something against Brighton, where I predicted a draw for this one. But Brighton, they played well. They really came out of the blocks very, very fast. And they played well. We know a lot of times they're not able to manage games. And they almost mismanaged this one too. But they held on. They've been, you know, building up a little streak here right now. Because if you look back at the last few Brighton games, right? 0-0 against Leeds. 1-1 against West Ham. 1-1 against Southampton. They did lose narrowly to Wolves, a goal to nil. But they beat Brentford 2-0. And importantly, they are coming off of a 1-1 draw against Chelsea. So to follow that up, to follow up the win against Brentford, follow up the draw against Chelsea with a win here against Everton, that's 7 points in their last 3 games. That's massive. If you ask me, for a team like Brighton and Hove Albion, who are overachieving this season, if you ask me. So for Everton, Dominic Calvert-Lewin back in the team. First game back since August. And as I mentioned, 17 days since Everton last played a Premier League match. 3 changes for Brighton, with the most notable change being Leandro Trossard back in the team. But early goal here for Brighton. Alexis McAllister, the Argentine international. Joel Veltman to Neil Maupay, and a beautiful layoff to the Argentinian who smashed it into the back of the net 1-0 to Brighton. So that was his third goal this season. He did get another one in the game. We'll get to that one. But what a way to start, man. What a way to start. Look, Brighton did follow it up with a second goal, 21st minute. And that was a Yves Bissouma shot. Brilliant shot by Yves Bissouma that deflected out for a corner. And, deflected out, went out for a corner. The flick by Dan Burn. The flick by Mwepu to Dan Burn. The corner came in, Mwepu with the flick on. And Dan Burn, the tallest man in the Premier League, I think. Tallest outfield player to score Brighton's second. And to get 2 early goals like that, that is the impetus that they needed to go on to win the game. Big up to the boy Graham Potter as well, doing his thing. And it was 2-0 at halftime. But before we get there, there was actually a VAR check for Mwepu on Gordon for a penalty. It was given. And Calvert-Lewin stepped up and skied it. So Everton had the opportunity to get back in the game very early in the first half. But Calvert-Lewin, with a bit of rust, missed that penalty. And I couldn't believe it because he's usually very, very good at the spot. Adam Lallana had a good shot saved by Jordan Pickford, very close. And Neil Maupay had another chance that he put over. 2-0 halftime for Brighton. And Everton were the better team in the second half. They won the second half, but Brighton won the first half and, ultimately proved to be more important. The goal, Anthony Gordon. Very, very good individual goal. He had the ball over on the right side of the field. He was looking for a pass. He was trying to figure out what to do with the ball, but he just kept driving towards the box, and then he eventually took a shot, ended up in the back of the net, beat the boy Robert Sanchez to score his first goal of the season, his first goal in Everton's colours. Set up by Alan there, second assist this season. But if we could recall, it was Anthony Gordon with that ball to set up John Joe Kenny, I think, for that goal against Chelsea, which was very, very, very important. So you got to give it to the boy Anthony Gordon. He's a local lad, and it's nice to see guys coming through the academy and actually developing well. You don't have to go out and spend that big money, and that's a potential star in the making right there for Everton. So good goal, and also, as I mentioned, good assist. That was Jared Brantwaite with the goal against Chelsea, by the way, and not John Joe Kenny. So good stuff there, but I remember it was Anthony Gordon with that cross into the box. So look, it did get a deflection off Lallana, which did help, but deflected goals are still goals. Not a lot of fans like to complain and say, yeah, the goals are deflected, but I say, man, come on and stop whining. It's a goal, it's a goal, it's a goal. So, look, 61st minute, Lallana came off, Tariq Lamptey on, and it was also another change where Shane Duffy came on for... Well, it was Veltman off, Lallana off, Lamptey on, and Duffy on. So, Graham Potter making the necessary changes there. Try to manage the game. Because, you see Everton fighting back, coming back into the match there at 2-1. And, two goal leads are the worst leads to ever have. Because the opposition score 1, and they could get 2 just as easily. We learned that from the Liverpool versus Chelsea game, right? I know you guys had a lesson in that recently. But the third goal did come for Brighton, 71st minute. McAllister with another volley. 4th goal of the season, set up by Enoch Mwepu for his second assist of the game, 4th of this season. And that's, I think, was pretty much game points there for Brighton, because 3-1, 20 minutes to go. Pretty difficult to come back in the game. But Everton did fight back, and Anthony Gordon did get a goal back, this time set up by the aforementioned John Joe Kenny, for his first assist. Gordon's second goal for Everton and second goal of the season. It was a spirited fight back. They tried, but just didn't have enough in the tank to beat Brighton on the day, who just had more quality. Big up to the boy Yves Bissouma as well. He'll be going to the African Cup of Nations. I know they'll miss him, but with the likes of Alzate, Pascal Gross, you have Jakob Moda, all who could come in and fill that midfield role there for Brighton and Hove Albion. They'll be fine. But they'll be missing the services of Yves Bissouma for sure, who has been a big player for them. Mope, I think, was important in this match, even though he didn't score. Nice to see Trossard back. McAllister, king of the match performance, if you ask me. See, right there, king of the match. The boy Cucurella has been playing well. And I think for Cucurella, this might just be a launching pad to just show teams like Barcelona or maybe bigger teams that he's a quality left back or left wing back. And if you need one, he's there. And I love the hair as well, man. I love the hair. So, good win for Brighton as they topple the Evertonians. For Everton, who lost at home there, the next game will be against Hull City in the FA Cup. Then they do have Leicester City in the league, Norwich, Aston Villa, and Newcastle. Some winnable games coming up for Everton. They'll be hoping to get back to winning ways, just like they did at the start of the season. So for Brighton, for Everton, they're 15th, by the way, guys, 19 points. Not good first half of the season on the Rafa. But for Brighton, this is their best start to any season ever. 19 games, they already have 27 points. And just to put it in context, guys, last season, Brighton came 16th with 41 points. 41, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? 15 losses, 14 draws. Only 9 wins last season for Brighton and Hove Albion. How many wins they got this season? 6. Already 2/3 of the wins they picked up last season in half the season. So that's a big improvement for Brighton, who are going to look to, who knows, man, get that Conference League spot. That'll be a nice little, nice little award for them, if you ask me. Conference League, right? For them, the next game is against West Brom, this Saturday in the FA Cup. Then they do have Crystal Palace, Leicester, Watford, Burnley, Aston Villa, Newcastle. These games are winnable for Brighton. Brighton might end up with more than 40 points at the beginning of March. But let's see. Let us see. So, guys, it's my thoughts on that game. Let me know yours if you have anything in the chat. Big up to Mr. Wiafe. George, how are you doing? Cashew Red, Everton missed that penalty. I think, that was a big moment to get back in the game, and they missed it. So, big up to the boy Karumi in the house, man. But, George, Uncle Dominic, Happy New Year to you, and we love you always. Stay blessed. Thanks, man. That's very reassuring. Thank you, guys. Much love to y'all, too. Guys, we need 17 more thumbs up to hit the 50 mark. So if you're in here and you're yet to do so, make sure you like the video. I will definitely appreciate it, man. Big up to all the members in here. Big up to everybody who's super chatted already. Do appreciate it. So, AD in the house. How are you doing, AD? Karumi is saying, educate me about Man United. What with this 4-2-2-2? It not work. This is real example of trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. You're absolutely right, and we will get to them very, very, very soon. Big up to AD, as I said. Van de Beek and Lingard fit that system, and they're not playing. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. You know what I mean? I feel bad for Lingard. I feel bad for Van de Beek, and whoever's not getting game time over there at Manchester United. You got to feel bad for the players individually, but for the team, I'm loving every single moment of it. If you ask me, I want it to happen to them every single season. But big up to all the United fans who are a fan of the channel. Do appreciate you guys 100%. But for United, 100%, I want them to fail every single time. All the time. All the time. Fail, 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 fail. You see what I'm saying? Fail. You know what club I support, right? You know. City. City till I die. But anyways, guys, let's continue with the show. We got a lot to talk about, and we are just 55 minutes in. Looking to do this for about maybe 2 hours, the most today. So let's keep it going, man. We got a lot to talk about, but let's keep it going. The next game we're going to talk about is the one between Crystal Palace and West Ham United. I did predict West Ham to win this game. They didn't win it. It ended up being close, and it was always close. It was always close, but West Ham did go 3-0 up, and Crystal Palace fought back very, very well to make a game of it and to give West Ham a scare towards the end. So you got to give it to the Eagles for trying. They were actually better than the scoreline. So Jess, Vieira picked up a yellow card at the back end of the game as well when the whistle was blown for protesting with the referee. So let's keep that in mind. He's lucky to not get a red because he was really adamant when he was talking to the ref. But good try, though. Good try. Good try. That's what I got to say. Good try. Patrick Vieira back on the touchline. 2 changes. Milivojevic coming in for Kouyaté. Benteke in for Jean-Philippe Mateta. No Zaha. No Conor Gallagher for the last 2 games. So that's a big miss for Crystal Palace. He's out with a mystery illness, they said. Declan Rice back in the team for West Ham United. And that was the only change of the game. So about 47 seconds in the game, early chance for Palace. They did hit the post. Jeffrey Schlupp, unlucky not to score. You got to take your chances, bro. You got to take your chances. 14th minute, triple save by Vicente Guaita. West Ham close to scoring. Antonio and Benrahma involved in that one. It was a very open game in the first 15 minutes, and I think any of the 2 teams could have gotten the opening goal there. So, yeah. 22nd minute, the goal did come in. In-swinging delivery by Benrahma. What a ball, though. Said Benrahma, take a bow. Take a bow, man. Take a bow. Just to talk about Benrahma briefly. This is a player I do admire. Man City, are you watching this? Manchester City, are you watching? I repeat. City, are you watching? And I say this, and I mean this. This is where you excel as a team. Let me get deep with you. This is where you excel as a team. I repeat, this is where you excel as a team. You identify talented players, low profile talented players, and you scoop them up. Don't wait until they're worth a whole lot, like what City did with Mahrez. Said Benrahma is 26 years old. He's not overly quick, but he's skillful. He's a Riyad Mahrez-esque type player. And just like Mahrez, who came from a lower team in Leicester and they won the title. For Brentford, they came up. You know what I'm saying? Brentford, and he was with Brentford. He almost helped them come up. But he moved to West Ham, and he's been instrumental in West Ham's rise lately. What you do with Ferran Torres gone, you got some money for Ferran Torres. I'm just using City as an example. Another team could do it. Liverpool could do it. Chelsea could do it. I think he was linked to Chelsea before, if I'm not mistaken. Arsenal could do it. 26 years old. He's not 28 or 29, where you might say, he's a little too old. You could still get 4 solid years out of Benrahma if you sign him. This player is a gem. This player is a gem. He's magic. That North African Arabic magic. You know what I'm saying? Flying carpet type shit type magic. Look. You sign him up. Benrahma, how much he's worth right now? 25 mil. 25 million euros is his market value. You give West Ham 30 million pounds, you know, little tax, Premier League tax, 30 million pounds. You sign him up. City, listen, I would love this player. I would love this player at Manchester City. You could just imagine this guy in that blue. Ooh, sweet. Sweet. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just wanted to talk to you about that one. I just wanted, Gervais saying don't want him at Chelsea, you see? You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man. This is what you call money ball type signing. Sign the players who are not marquee signings, like 70 million. Spend a 30 million, and you're going to have, City will have a really good player that they could rotate in and out of the team. In and out of the team, start games when he can, got that Algerian magic. Mahrez is pretty much, you know, on his way out, a couple years left. You sign up a guy like Benrahma. The name is lovely. You know what I'm saying? Legendary type name. The man has 4 assists, 5 goals already this season. And he bettered last season when he only picked up 1 goal and 6 assists. So Benrahma is paying dividends already. So that's a little scout report there from your boy, Dominic Rich. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, City. Sign him up. But anyways, back to the review. Good ball by Benrahma. That was a wicked ball, man. When I'm talking about a ball so wicked that from the left side curled into the middle and Antonio just needed to just touch it. Wicked ball around the defense. Second goal did follow very, very quickly. Manuel Lanzini with a brilliant goal, sumptuous goal. But it was Declan Rice with his run, with him carrying the ball, laying it off to Lanzini, who skillfully went around the defense and got that volley off. 2-0 to West Ham United. Emphatic start to the game. But Crystal Palace fought back. Hudson Edward hit the bar. Jordan Ayew with the layoff. He could have taken a shot himself, chose not to do so. And Christian Benteke did come close as well. His shot was saved by Fabianski. Close range. Benteke with another good chance as well. Saved by Fabianski in the 42nd minute. And then another big moment came in the game where Luka Milivojevic was deemed to hands the ball in the box. VAR had to check it. The referee had to do an on-field review of the monitor. Pointed to the spot. Manuel Lanzini, who's being resurrected right now at West Ham, who I always forget to mention his name when I talk about the fact that they have Fornals, they have Benrahma, you have Bowen, you have Antonio, and I keep forgetting the fact that Lanzini is there. You add the boy Nikola Vlasic as well to the list. You go further back, there's Krul, there's Rice, there's Shusek. This team is a nice team right now. They went through a bad patch, but it's good for them that they bounced back. Lanzini with a quality penalty there to make it 3-0 to the Hammers. And the score was a bit tricky because Crystal Palace did not play that badly at all. They really didn't. They were just outdone by some brilliance from West Ham United. So 3-0 at halftime, and Palace, of course, won the second. West Ham won the first. And as I mentioned, they played better than the scoreline did suggest. But look, let's give some credit to Mikel Antonio just for a second, though. Mikel Antonio, along with Mo Salah, were the only 2 players in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, to get double figures in both goals and assists, which is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. So give it up for Antonio for his all-round efforts. If you want him to play at left back, right back, I mean, he'll play at right back. Anyway, left back maybe. Anywhere you want him to play, he'll play. And also, we have to mention the fact that he recently became a Jamaican international, and the man scored some wicked goals for Jamaica as well. So it's not no fluke thing here for Mikel Antonio at all. So got to give it up for the Jamaican international, Mikel Antonio. So for Crystal Palace, they fought really hard in the second half, made some important substitutions. with bringing on Jean-Philippe Mateta, Michael Olise, and Jairo Vidawall getting a rare outing last 15 minutes of the game. Nice to see him getting involved. And still, Martin Kelly isn't getting any game time. I feel it for Martin Kelly, man. He's on the bench every game, and he's not getting any game time. 31 these days. No appearances this season in the league. No appearance in the cup. And I don't know, man. You need to leave, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to go, man. You got to go. It's a former Liverpool man. Got to go, Martin. Got to go. He's been at the club since 2014. 2014. He did get a cap for England as well. So he did show promise before, but just out of favor under both Vieira and Roy Hodgson. 2019-20, he did play 19 games, but last season, only 5 matches. And this season, none at all. So, you know, last season, actually, he played once. He played 5 in the youth league. So, Martin Kelly, man, he does have 154 Premier League appearances, but he's been around for some time. 147 appearances for Crystal Palace, 62 for Liverpool. I know you might be like, Dom, why are you talking about this guy? But I like to throw in those little things, man, because haven't seen him for a while, and I would like to see some Martin Kelly, man. Come on. Get him on. Get him on the field. So the goal did come. 83rd minute, Michael Olise with a killer ball into the box, and Hudson Edward touching it in to bring Crystal Palace back in the game to give West Ham that scare towards the end. And from a free kick, Michael Olise did put one in the back of the net as well. His free kick did come in from a similar place, and no one got a touch to it, and it beat the goalkeeper, Fabianski, to really give West Ham a scare at the back end of the game. 94th minute, Mateta, he did get a great opportunity at overhead kick attempt, and he nearly made it 3-3. If he had scored that would have been one of the most emphatic equalizers you could ever see. Much needed win for West Ham, and they need to get that momentum building again. Typical West Ham type performance. Typical West Ham win, 3-2. How many times have they won 3-2? How many times have they won in high-scoring games? Many. They beat Chelsea 3-2, right? They lost 3-2 against Southampton, right? They beat Liverpool 3-2, right? I'm telling you, man, typical West Ham type performance, man. Typical. I'm looking for one more. They beat Newcastle 4-2 as well. So, lovely team to watch play. So, for the Hammers, well-needed 3 points. They were losing steam a lot. They're 5th. 1 point behind 4th place Arsenal. So West Ham are in the 4th place race. And I've been talking about the fact that there's no title race anymore. The main talking point of the Premier League this season should be the title, the top 4 race and the relegation scrap. And the race for the Conference League spot as well. It's going to be interesting to see who gets that one. Yeah, and I'm only saying that because it's funny if you do get the Conference League as a bigger team. Small team, I think, would relish that opportunity. But a team like Tottenham, United, Arsenal and them teams, you're not supposed to be in that thing, man. So, 34 points for West Ham. They've overachieved big time halfway through the season. It looks like they could get a 70-point season, which would be sick when you really think about it. And they just continue to grow strength by strength, game by game. The next game will be against Leeds in the FA Cup. Then they do have Norwich, Leeds in the league, Man United at Old Trafford, where we know teams are going there and having fun. Watford, Leicester, Newcastle. West Ham are going to win a lot of these games, if you ask me. It's going to be interesting to see if they do any business in the upcoming January transfer window as well, because they do need some center-back reinforcements. And let's see. Let's just see. Let's see if they lose any player. Let's see if they sign anybody. As for Crystal Palace, who are 11, not bad at all. 20 games played, 23 points. Not bad if you ask me. First season in charge for Vieira. He got 5 wins already. He's got to continue to build on that. Play a very attractive football so far. Their next game will be against Millwall in the Cup. Then they play Brighton. Then they got Liverpool without Salah and Mane. If that game does go ahead. Norwich, Brentford. They got some nice fixtures coming up if you ask me. So that's my thoughts on this one. Let me know yours in the chat. Big up to each and every one of y'all in here right about now, guys. We need 12 more thumbs up to hit 50. This is the first live stream on the channel of 2021, and we are starting out with a bang. My energy is up, even though I've been up all day since about 4:45 a.m. I did get an hour nap. I did get a couple naps here and there throughout the day, and I'm revived. I'm hyped. And I have to motivate myself because it's hard to have motivation talking about the Premier League right now when City's running away with the league. Seriously, I'm loving it, but at least put up a fight, man. At least Chelsea, Liverpool, United, Arsenal, they all put up a fight. Put up a goddamn fight. Put up a fight. You're making the thing boring, man. Put up a fight. No. What am I supposed? Listen, the Liverpool fans ain't going to want to come watch the show. The Chelsea fans don't want to come watch the show. Things going to be boring because they know the title race is slipping away. If it's not already slipped away. See what I'm saying? The title race is basically, it's on ice. Literally. Put away on ice. Slipping away. Listen, man, back-to-back is going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. But I wanted a competition at least. Give us a competition deep down in the season, man. Not halfway through. It's disappointing. Halfway through, as much as I'm loving it, it's disappointing, man. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing. So big up to everybody once again. We got, what we got? What we saying, man? These teams play City too weak. They need to be more proactive, too reactive. Great point, great point. Mr. Sheik, if you win only one trophy this season, would you take the Premier League or the Champions League? Bro, I'll take the Premier League, to be honest. To be honest, man, I cannot stand somebody else winning the Premier League right now. At least other teams from other countries are in the Champions League. I'll take the Premier League. And I'm pretty sure if you ask Pep Guardiola the same question, he'll give you the same answer. As much as I would love to win the Champions League, give me the freaking league, man. Give me the Premier League. Give it to me. Give me the Premier League. Big up to Victor Jomo in the house, man. MVP Kev, that Liverpool-Chelsea game was a fight. Was a fight. Definitely was. We'll talk about that one soon. It's still too early to call winning the Premier League. Bro, it's done, bro. The league is done. Do I need to remind you that it's over? Do I need to show you that it's over again? No, I'm not going to do that. We have things to do. We got a lot more games to talk about. And let's go into the next game, man. This wasn't the most entertaining and exciting game. But Tottenham bounced back from a disappointing draw in their previous game to pick up a win against Watford. 1-0 to Tottenham. Davinson Sanchez. I've spoken about Davinson Sanchez, you know. And you guys who have been here could say, yeah, damn, you did. You did. I said that Davinson Sanchez has played his best football under Conte. Best football at Tottenham under Antonio Conte. And it's only been a couple games in. And he popped up with the goal at the end of the game there to give Tottenham a big 3 points. I feel it for Watford. I really, really feel it for Watford, man. Watford deserved at least the point from this game. I'm not going to say they should have won the game, but Watford really, really deserved a point here. They really did. So, Watford, Tottenham 1-0. Musa Sissoko coming up against his old team. Ranieri made 3 changes. Ken Simmer, Imran Louza, and William Troost Ikong started. Antonio Conte made 2 changes. Lucas and Oli Skip in for Dele Alli and Harry Winks. Early dominance by Spurs, but without reward. 17th minute, Hybier with a chance, put over, Cathcart with the loose header to set him up. And 26th minute, Daniel Bachmann with a big save from a Harry Kane shot. Not much attacking in the third of the field, attacking third of the field there for Watford. They were more defending, they were compact, and they were really holding Spurs at bay. 31st minute, Watford mistake, poor pass by the goalkeeper to Louza, and Kane did put a shot wide. So, few mistakes early on in the game, but not punished by Tottenham. I did mention in my notes, good on Watford to stay in the game, but they were penned into their own half. But also, I noted that they were very, very organized, to say the least. And kudos to them for staying in the game, for the most part, against a better opposition. So, also, guys, before I forget to note, Watford are yet to keep a single clean sheet in the Premier League this season. And yet another game without a clean sheet. They almost achieved it, but just haven't been lucky. 46th minute, João Pedro was brought on. Emmanuel Dennis taken off. And I can't remember the circumstances around Dennis being taken off, but he's been in the news lately where Watford are refusing to send him to the African Cup of Nations because they claimed that they received the email for his release very late, and they don't want to release him. And the same with the Ismail Assar situation, where Watford are saying they don't want to release Ismail Assar because he's not fully fit as yet, but Ismail Assar wants to go. And oh man, you know, it's a messy situation there where the club wants to protect their assets and they're in a relegation scrap, and you lose those players and you're definitely going to get relegated for sure. So they did look better in the second half, though, in terms of their attacking prowess. Josh King did get a shot saved by Lloris. Big chance in the 54th minute. And João Pedro on goal, and the ref did whistle for a foul. I don't know if any of you guys saw this. He was, basically wrestling with a couple players to get through. He did get through, and then when he was about to get a shot off, the referee blew the whistle. He should have just let the play go on, and Watford did get a free kick there that they didn't capitalize on. They did look better in the second half, as I mentioned. So Spurs did get a great chance in the 72nd minute. Brilliant ball by Lucas Moura to Son, and Daniel Bachmann equal to the task with a very, very big save. But Spurs were beginning to turn the screw. They were up in the ante. They were beginning to throw the kitchen sink at it. And even though the second half, I think, was a bit shared in terms of the performance, Spurs at the back end really started to up things. Skip, he was taken off. Winks brought on Giovanni Lo Celso and Brian Hill towards the end for Reguilon and Lucas Moura, and it paid dividends big time. There was a medical emergency in the 86th minute where a fan got ill. I think that fan was stabilized. I didn't really check on it, but the game did continue. But I think what really messed with Watford here is the 8 minutes of extra time. Things happen for a reason, guys. Maybe this was just never meant to be Watford's day. That they had a bit of, momentum in terms of the fact that they kept Tottenham at bay in the game. And the medical emergency came, the game interrupted. You got to restart, and it helped Spurs. It benefited Spurs. Look, but Watford, they got to blame themselves. Poor defending at the end there. Poor challenge to give away the free kick in a dangerous area. And Heung-min Son, who we know got that quality, put it in a very good spot. No one attacking the ball in terms of Watford and their defenders. No one really trying to get the ball. The goalkeeper, I think, should have try to, get to that ball first. Nobody really put in any good effort, and it was just, the ball was arrowing straight to goal, and Davinson Sanchez just diverted it in. 1-0 to Spurs. No clean sheet for Watford. Pretty much, one of the last big plays of the game. I feel it for Watford. As I said, I feel it for Watford. But for Spurs, they have definitely been a better team under Antonio Conte, who has now gone, 8 games unbeaten? Which is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me. So you got to give it to the boy Antonio, man. You got to give it to Antonio. While Romelu Lukaku's crying about Inter and whatever, Antonio Conte is not looking back, and he's just, being prolific over there at Tottenham. You see what I'm saying? So good on him. Definitely good on the boy Antonio Conte. So just to give you some insights here, Davinson Sanchez's header was the latest winning goal Tottenham have scored in the Premier League since up to have exact times of goals in the division from 2006 to 7. 96th minute. One of the latest winning goals ever for Tottenham in the last couple decades. This is big. Tottenham have yet to lose a Premier League game under Antonio Conte. 8 matches, 5 wins, 3 draws, extending the longest unbeaten start by a Spurs manager in league competition. Watford have won just one of their last 18 games against Tottenham, drawing 6 and losing 11, beating them 2-1 at Vicarage Road in September of 2018. Horrible start to the season for the Hornets. It looks like they could get relegated, but they're still, surprisingly, they're still out of the relegation zone. And Watford, guys, just to give you some insight on how many games they recently lost, right? They won against United. I'm trying to go back to where Ranieri was brought in. Trying to find that game. Can't remember the exact game Ranieri was brought in. Xisco against Newcastle. 1-0 Leeds against Watford. That was Xisco as well. Watford versus Liverpool. Now I remember that. Christening against Liverpool, right? Christening against Liverpool. They did beat Everton 5-2. Lost to Southampton. Lost to Arsenal, right? Just hear me. Stay with me, please. Stay with me. Are you staying with me? Stay with me. Don't go nowhere. Lost to Liverpool, 1 against Everton, right? Just stay with me. So 1 win in 2, right? Great. Oh, okay. Wow, okay. Lost to Southampton, lost to Arsenal. So now that's 3 losses in 4. Beat United. Wow. Even with all those losses, beat United. So that's 2 wins in 5. Not bad. But since that win against United, there's been a 4-2 loss against Leicester, 2-1 loss against Chelsea, 3-1 loss to City, 2-1 loss to Brentford, 4-1 loss to West Ham, and a 1-0 loss to Tottenham, which means that 6 losses in a row. To go with that previous 3, that's 9 out of 12, 9 out of 11 games under Ranieri that Watford have lost. I don't know how he's not sacked yet, but I think they're going to actually give him a transfer window. And after the transfer window, you know what? They might actually bring over some guys from Udinese. You know what I'm saying? You got an Udinese player or 2 coming over. They do have another club in I think they own Granada as well. You might have a player from Granada or Udinese coming through to try to help them out. And they'll, and we'll see if that works out. But who knows? They might just survive. But Tottenham have been really good under Conte, and they are in the race for top 4. I have to admit that. With that win, they go up to 33 points with 18 games played. They have 2 games in hand to West Ham and Arsenal, which means if they win those games, one of them being against Arsenal, they could go up to 39 points. That puts Tottenham in 4th. And they'll continue to put pressure on both Chelsea and Liverpool. Well done by Antonio Conte. Next match coming up against Chelsea. This Wednesday, first leg of the EFL Cup semi-final. Which reminds me, tomorrow, I got to do something on this game. I got to do something on the EFL Cup. Thanks for the reminder there. I've been real busy, though. The schedule is crazy. They do have Morecambe in the Cup, January 9th. That's this Sunday. There'll be no Premier League football this Sunday. And the AFCON will kick off this Sunday as well. And then they play Chelsea again next Wednesday in the second leg of the EFL Cup. And then they have Arsenal. Let's talk about the Premier League fixtures coming up. Arsenal and then Chelsea, 2 big games. I don't want to go further than that. But if you go further than that, you have Southampton, Wolves, and Manchester City. The next 5 games will be very, very pivotal if they are to get themselves up into that top 4. And I do think if a manager like Antonio Conte gets top 4, it's very hard to take that away from him. So well done for Spurs. I was talking a lot of shit about them all season. This is where the shit talking actually stops. You have to admit when you gotta just chill. And I gotta chill. I gotta chill when it comes to Spurs. For Watford, the next game, Leicester in the FA Cup. Then they do have a 6-pointer against Newcastle, another 6-pointer against Norwich. And maybe I think this is the reason why Ranieri isn't getting sacked as yet. We want to give him the opportunity to see what he'll do against the teams just in their region. You have Brighton, you got Aston Villa, you got United again coming up. You see what I'm saying? So who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? They're not doomed as yet. So that's my thoughts on that game. Let me know yours in the chat. Do appreciate all 50 of y'all in here. Big turnout, guys. We need 7 more likes to hit 50 likes on the channel. Do appreciate that. Do appreciate that, man. 50 likes. 50 likes. Smash it up, guys. Smash it up. Smash it up, man. Smash it up. Smash it. Talk to me. Who we got in here? Low fat, more fat in the house, man. Spurs versus Chelsea. Liverpool versus Arsenal. EFL Carabao Cup. Fire. Yep, definitely. Antoine Eugene. Liverpool also released all African players to play for their country. I don't care how bad your team is doing. The players have to play for their country. Yeah, but Watford may be on to something, though. You got to send the emails out very early, though. If it's the Euro, then free up all the players. Free up the Africans. Yeah, but the only thing about that, to be honest, is the Euros are never during the season, too. You know, that's another thing. Wade Nelson, Watford put up a fight. Thought Spurs was kind of sluggish. Movements was not as much as previous games. Great point. Excuse me. Big up to Gotiola in the house. 6 a.m. stream. Damn. Good morning, Dom. Yeah, for me, it's now 11 p.m. in the night. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Sheik, I really want to hear City fans say in the Etihad Stadium, once we are champions of Europe. I don't think City fans actually care, guys. As much as people may think City fans care, they don't. Believe me, I would love to win it, but trust me, I think it's more important we win the Champions League, though. Tobias Bakke, who do you think will win the Carabao Cup? To be honest, it's either going to be, to be completely honest, it could go anyway. But I think it's going to be either Arsenal or Spurs to win it. Arsenal or Spurs, where I'm fancying Arsenal to do it. I'm really fancying Arsenal. I think Liverpool, you know, got a little cup magic in them. But it's going to be weird for them that no Salah, no Mane. They don't really take part in those. But who knows, they may probably would have. But it's about a squad depth situation where if you have the other players featuring in these cup games, then when you need them to come back for the Premier League games, you know, there's a problem. So I think Liverpool, you know, would either have to sacrifice the cup for the league or, something. The league for the cup. And I don't think they're going to sacrifice the league games for the cup games. So it's left to be seen, though. It's really left to be seen. Karumi is saying Tottenham are looking scary. Definitely, they are looking good. Conte is definitely a coach. Great points there. Victor Ojoma, bro, you need to stop trolling. You're trolling, bro. It got to be you're trolling. I'm not bragging. The title race is over. As much as you might want to think it's still alive, you're being delusional. You're honestly being delusional right now. Title race is done, bro. Just admit it. It's over. So, guys, we got a few more games to talk about, and let's get into that. And the next game that we are going to touch on is the game between Manchester United and Wolverhampton Wanderers. We could call them Manchester United because it's all about the banter right about now, because it's a banter team. Banter club right now. Let me take a sip of my water here because I'm going to be talking a lot here. Banter club. This is banter too, but look, man. I saw a meme on Facebook. You know, like in Scooby-Doo, when they unveil the villain, they take the mask off the villain. They took off the Ragnick head, and guess who was underneath the Ragnick head? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think that was very funny. I think that was very, very funny. United back to their Ole Gunnar Solskjaer days, right? The draw against Newcastle, maybe it was signs. The win against Burnley, a little bit more convincing, but that's Burnley you're playing, you know what I'm saying? A very out of form Burnley right now. And then you come up against Wolves, where my prediction was for United to draw this game. I predicted them not to beat Wolves. Also predicted them not to beat Burnley. Burnley didn't show up. But I predicted a 1-1 draw for this game. It could have ended like that. Don't get me wrong. United had their chances to score. But Wolves were equal to the task. But the difference was that João Martinho's moment of magic. Yet another loss at Old Trafford. What I like to call the theater of nightmares. This is pathetic. It's pathetic. When you try to build, you're trying to rebuild, and it's like you're going forward and then you're going backwards at the same time, making little progress. And there's doubts kicking in again about the Ragnick formation, the 4-2-2-2 formation. You got to take your time and say that. Where you have Ronaldo, Cavani, Sancho, Greenwood, Matic, McTominay. In defense, you have Phil Jones and Varane. That's a new defensive partnership. The last game, it was Bailly and Maguire. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when the previous matches you had Dalot and Telles, and then you drop them and you bring in Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who couldn't get a cross on Ronaldo's head all day? To me, I've given Aaron Wan-Bissaka credit in the past, but to be honest, if you're playing for United and you still can't make the England national team, you're not good enough for the team. My player should be in the freaking national team. If you're playing for my team and it's a top club, you gotta be in a national team because you're a top player in a top team, which shows that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not a top player in a top team. He did get a lot of ratings for his tackling ability, but otherwise, might have been a rush signing. Whoa, nice talented player from Crystal Palace. Let me get him before someone else does. £50 million. £50 million player, you can't make the England team? Explain that to me. Explain it to me. You got to get in the team somehow, man. Just shows you're not that good. Gareth Southgate doesn't hold you in high regards. So these are the things with United, you know what I mean? I think Fred was actually one of their better players this season. And where is he? On the bench. When Donny van de Beek was actually getting some time, where is he now? On the bench. Bruno Fernandes back from suspension. Where is he in the game? On the bench. When he came on, you saw what happened. Marcus Rashford on the bench. Jesse Lingard on the bench. The dishonesty to Jesse Lingard. Tell him he could have been at West Ham. You know what I'm saying? Doing all his little stupid celebrations. But what is he doing? Keeping warm on the bench. Rafa Varane. Everybody talked up Rafa Varane. I don't know why. He's the gift. Christmas is just past, but Rafa Varane is the gift that keeps on giving. Need I say more? Do I need to say more? David De Gea is the one that's stopping the embarrassment at United. It could have been worse. David De Gea. He's the best player this season. He's the best player this season. 1-0 to Wolves, man. 1-0 to Wolves. 2 changes. Varane, Phil Jones in. Maguire, Bailly out. Bruno Fernandes on the bench for Wolves. Trincao and Semedo in. Kiana Hoover and Leandro Dendoncker out. 12th minute, Podence with a shot saved by David De Gea. And from that resulting corner, it fell to Neves, who forced another brilliant save out of David De Gea, who tipped it over. Wolves on top in the first half, in my opinion. And it ended 0-0, of course. We know that. 57th minute, Luke Shaw with a yellow card, which means that he would miss the game. That's going to further unsettle the 11, which, you know, means that tellers have to come in. You see? Ill discipline. The ill discipline is what have United in this situation right about now. But I like something that Rangnick did. He did something good in the game, though. You see what I mean? The introduction of Bruno Fernandes did change the game. And it makes you wonder, why not start him? Why not start him? I don't think Greenwood has been very good lately. And I've always criticized Greenwood for his timid approach. He's too timid. I need to see some more from Greenwood. Hit up the freaking barber. Get a nice haircut. Dye the hair blonde or something. You know what I mean? I want to see the confidence oozing out his veins. And I think it would affect his game. His performances on the field. He's just too tame and too timid, in my opinion, though. Nothing like a Phil Foden, if you ask me. You see what I'm saying? So, and not because it's a United player or whatnot. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. But going back to the Bruno Fernandes substitution, Greenwood off, Fernandes on, 68th minute. Jadon Sancho, what? Jadon Sancho, another talking point is Jadon Sancho and his decision-making in the games as well. There was moments, the build-up play was really good, and when Sancho needed to take a shot, he just kept looking for the pass. You see what I'm saying? It's like the confidence isn't there. Or he's like, he's scared to mess up or something. He's scared. And as Karumi is saying, he's too nice. Greenwood is too nice. You feel me? Way too nice. Way too nice. Too nice. You got to be more aggressive, in my opinion. And I think Wolves were the more aggressive team. Wolves, and we'll talk about them a little. Let me just run through these points here. We'll talk about them some more. Bruno Fernandes' introduction, and he was teed up by Nemanja Matic, and he hit the crossbar. He had to score that. That was the moment where Bruno Fernandes had to score. I think he was listening to Fat Joe featuring Remy Ma as well. Leaned back a little bit too much there for that one. Way too much. Cristiano Ronaldo did get a chance. Bruno Fernandes again with another quality pass. Ronaldo put it wide. On his day, he'll put that in the far post. Wolves began to show their brilliance in terms of the attacking third. When Saiz from a free kick hit the crossbar, and that was the first indication that, yeah, we want this. We want this more. We want this more. And it was another tactical change that actually prompted that. And that was the introduction of a speedster by the name of Adama Traore, who's been linked with moves to Tottenham, maybe a Newcastle, maybe who knows? Who knows where he'll go? But he's linked with a move out of the club. Came on for Trincao, who I think has not really been good enough. He has talent, but he needs to step it up. Fabio Silva came on for Raul Jimenez, and we'll talk about Fabio Silva soon. But 82nd minute, ball crossed into the box by Adama Traore, running at the defense. And world-class Phil Jones. And by the way, I did think Phil Jones had a solid game, though. He did have a solid game for the most part. But world-class Phil Jones with the header that he could have put anywhere, but put it straight on a golden platter for Joao Moutinho to volley into the back of the net. Nutmegged, think Scott McTominay. Where was McTominay in this game? The last game, you're all over Burnley. In this game, where are you? Inconsistency. That's the thing I'm talking about. That's the exact thing I'm talking about. But what a goal, though. First goal of the season. He doesn't score a lot, but very importantly, he did. And I saw him at the end. He's jumping up on Raul Jimenez. And he's probably saying to myself, I can't believe we won this game. Really can't believe. But you got to give credit to Bruno Lage and in charge for using the weapon Adama Traore, who did run away for that free kick as well. That Saiz free kick ran away, brought down by Matic. And he was causing United some problems because United were actually looking for that go-ahead goal as well. And they were leaving themselves open. Credit to Wolves. And I'll get to them. I'll get to the Wolves' performances lately. With the goal, United had to come back, and they did almost do so. Late in the game, 96th minute, Fabio Silva almost kicked Phil Jones in the face. But you got to give Phil Jones the credit for the commitment, getting his head to the ball, trying to get his head to the ball, and putting his face on the line, right? Free kick, Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo over it. Bruno Fernandes took Jose Sa with the save. Credit to Sa. The amount of clean sheets he's picked up this season, he's up there in the Golden Glove race. He's had 8 clean sheets in 19 appearances. Only 14 goals conceded. Big up to the boy Jose Sa, one of the signings of the season, of course. And to my delight as a Manchester City fan, United lost the game. Let's take this moment. Let me just pause this music right now. Let's take this moment to just laugh at United. Let's laugh at them. You know what I'm saying? Let's just take this moment to just laugh because it's funny. It is funny. Remember at the beginning of the season, right? Ronaldo came in. I give them the credit. They got Ronaldo. Bam. The whole thing about they hijacked the deal from City. Bam, bam, bam. The title. 21. Bam, this, that, and the third. Where are you now? Pathetic. 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 I'm going to leave it right there. I'll waste no more time on these dudes. But the team I actually want to talk about real quick. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Look at this, right? Just look at this. Take a look at this. Let's start from November 20th. They have shown that they are one of the most difficult teams to play against this season. Didn't start the season out well in terms of the results, but they were really good. Let's go back to the results really quick. They lost first 3 matches of the season, and they lost them by 1-0. Leicester, Tottenham, United, I think Wolves deserve to probably win all those games or at least get a draw. But let's go right back down. Forget about the other games. Let's go back down to November 20th. Look, lost to Crystal Palace. Forget about that. We're talking about November 20th here. Wolves 1, West Ham 0. Norwich 0, Wolves 0. Wolves 0, Burnley 0. Wolves 0, Liverpool 1. They lost, but they only conceded 1 goal. Across the last 4 games there, only 1 goal conceded. City 1, Wolves 0. Okay, they lost, but they only conceded once. But hear me now. Look at this. Look at this. That's 5 games, only 2 goals conceded, only 1 scored. But still, look at this now. Wolves 1, Brighton 0. Wolves 0, Chelsea 0. That's a big result. And against teams, I should say, that should have beat them in Chelsea and United, they picked up 4 points. And throughout, that's 8 games, Wolverhampton Wanderers have only conceded twice. And astonishingly, have only scored 3 goals. Oh, this is ridiculous. In 8 games, you score 3 and concede 2. This is sick. This is sick stuff. Give it up to Wolves, who are in 8th right now, 28 points. The season's looking solid. 8 wins, 7 losses, 4 draws. That's solid if you ask me. Bruno Lage in charge. Take a bow. You guys are surviving yet another season. Portuguese FC, quality this season. Southampton coming up. Brentford, Arsenal, Tottenham. Listen, these games, it's going to be difficult to break down this Wolves team. Just want to put it out there, man. But look, for Manchester United, where are they at, man? 7th, 31 points. 6 L's already this season. That's not good. Halfway through the season, you got 6 losses already. Where you're projected to only get 62 points. That's not good. That is not good. Aston Villa twice coming up next. West Ham, Burnley, Southampton, Leeds, winnable games. But those teams are going to give Man United a hell of a hard time. That's my thoughts. Let me know yours. Big up to the girl, Miss Melina in the house. I don't know if you're still around, Miss Melina, who says if Wolves had a proper striker, they'll have been 3 goals up. They do have a proper striker, but, you know, the head thing with Raul Jimenez, I don't think he's fully gotten over that one yet. But they have a style of play, and they've been doing well. We need 2 more thumbs up to hit 50 likes. Would appreciate if we hit 50 likes during the live stream or even go higher. So if you're in here right now and you are yet to like the video, please do so. First live stream of 2022. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. So what else we got here, man? Miss Melina said to like the stream, guys. Come on. What else we got, man? We got Angel, 1968, Abel in the house. Top 8 finish for Man U. Trash. Good vibes. Yeah, let me see. Portuguese team in the Premier League. Organized, disciplined team, indeed. Was playing like primetime Barcelona. King Huddle United have a Harrods attack, but a Tesco defense and a Poundland midfield. I think that's like British terms. I'm in New York though, so yeah. Wade Nelson, the coach and the players and the fans all confused. No identity, no style of play. Ralph Frodnick says MVP Kev. Who else we got? FB7 games. They need to work on scoring more goals. True, but if what's going on is working, why not? The games are not the most entertaining, but still. You know what I'm saying? Kevlon, Drake, and Dom, what you feel the title race? Oh, yeah, the title race is over, bro. It's over. It's done. We don't need to talk about it. Look at Ralph Rangnick's previous team, Schalke, RB Leipzig. They have had intensity and pressure the ball. But United, you got to have the personnel. You got to have the personnel. You see what I'm saying? You just can't put your philosophy onto people that are not willing to accept it. You see what I mean? So you got to have the personnel. You can't have players in limbo. They're probably still in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer mode, you know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is. Almost 2 hours in, and in terms of the games left, I think we got 2 more games left. And let's just go back a bit here. We got the Chelsea-Liverpool, and we got the Manchester City-Arsenal, 2 of the biggest games for the last week. And we're going to get into those ones right now. But before we do get into those games, what I want to touch on really quick is let's just go to the Premier League table briefly and touch on the teams that didn't feature in the last match day. And that team, first team there is Leicester City. They didn't play. Let me just pull up back a quick graphic here. And Leicester City were supposed to play against Norwich. So for Leicester, they're 10th right now with 25 points played. You scroll down that. We had them beating Liverpool 1-0 in their last game. Their next game will be against Everton on the 11th of January. So good on them to beat Liverpool. That's a great result, man. We talked about that one. The Liverpool fans didn't really come out to watch. It's all good, man. The show must go on. So stellar season, if you ask me, for Leicester. Not stellar as the last 2, but still, you're only halfway through. They could get a better second half and look to creep up from behind instead of actually losing pace and falling out the top 4, right? So, not bad. Not bad at all. It's been inconsistent, 7 wins, 7 losses, but still, they've had their moments this season. As for Norwich City down towards the bottom of the table, listen, man, 2 wins, 4 draws. They did have a good November, but I have to say, Norwich under Dean Smith currently, they're getting relegated. It's a possibility that they could get out, but when you look at the team, and I don't think they're not very attractive in terms of bringing in players, and they're not gonna spend too crazy in the January window. It's already January. We ain't seen no signing yet. There haven't been many signings in the league yet. Got to get on some transfer talk as well. But Norwich, the last game, a 3-0 loss to Palace. They play West Ham next, January 12th. I think it's over for them. I really do. The other games postponed. Southampton versus Newcastle. You take a look at Southampton right now. Last game, a 1-1 draw. Brilliant draw against Tottenham. They're 14th with 21 points. Halfway through the season. Not bad at all. They're scheduled to survive. The next game will be against Brentford, Tuesday, the 11th of January. So we talk about Newcastle United. You got to go towards the bottom of the table. Solitary win this season. 11 points. Last game, a 1-1 draw against Manchester United. This is unbelievable, right? 1-1 against United, right? And look at where you are at the table. United. Laughable stuff. Next game, 6 point against Watford, 15th of January. That's a Saturday. Look, Newcastle United are the team that are best placed, in my opinion, to survive the drop. Seeing that they recently got taken over, they're the team most likely to splash the cash in January. And it could only get better for them. It can't get worse, right? It can't get worse than that. Right, guys? It can't. It really can't. So with that being said, any comments about those teams? Let me see if anybody have anything to say right now. Let me see. No. Well, Leicester have conceded 33 goals. Yeah, they have not been so good in defense because their players have been out injured for the most part. So too many egos at United they were not willing to work too hard. Definitely, Raheem Sterling is on top of the league. Raheem Sterling has been playing well lately. What else we got? Damian hustling. You can see the problem at United is not the manager. Yep, it ain't. You get rid of Solskjaer. Ragnick come in. Wait. Let me go. I'm going too far. You get rid of Moyes. You get rid of Van Gaal. You get rid of freaking Mourinho, you get rid of Solskjaer, you bring in Ragnick, same old situation, right? Same old shit. So, in terms of results here, we're going to go into this game, man. Let's talk about this match. A huge game. Arsenal 1, Manchester City 2. This is my team, and I'm telling you guys, they scared the hell out of me here. They scared the hell out of me. They scared the hell out of me in this game because I don't know what got into Arsenal, even with Mikel Arteta not on the sideline. Arsenal played like prime Arsenal. You're talking about prime Arsene Wenger, Arsenal, Henri Vieira, and co. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Bergkamp. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. I don't know what got into these guys, but it was like Arsenal was playing like City and City was playing like Arsenal. That's what it looked like. But for City, 3 changes made. Grealish, Foden, who wasn't even in the squad. Foden wasn't in the squad. And Fernandinho out. Sterling, Mahrez, and Rodri, the game winner, in. Arteta on the casualty list with coronavirus. Tomiyasu came in for holding. Those are the only changes, basically. So, early on in the game, one of the first big moments, one of the first big talking points was the Edison potential foul on Martin Odegaard that was deemed not a penalty. And a lot of people are saying that it was a penalty. From what I saw, it could have been given a penalty. If I'm being honest, it could have been definitely given a penalty. That could have been given a penalty. And I have to say that we got to count our lucky stars that that wasn't given a penalty, because Arsenal were good in the game and they were compact in defense. They were good on the counter. And they even had moments where they kept the ball for long periods of time. We would have lost this game. We would have lost this game. So, type of a 50-50 call there. Edison given the benefit of the doubt. And City, you know, live to fight. There was an opportunity for Diaz. Sterling with the ball in. Header went wide. But the main talking points is from the Martinelli chances. 16th minute saved by Edison. And there was another chance again that I think he put over a little later on in the game. But that early chance, that foray into City's final third, was some devastating stuff by Gabriel Martinelli. We couldn't deal with him. We really couldn't deal with these youngsters, man. I think Arsenal may have missed the trick, if I'm being real, by not starting Emile Smith-Rowe in place of Lacazette. But some may argue that Lacazette may have been the player to hold the ball up and, you know, just to have some type of semblance within the Arsenal team there. You see what I mean? A little experience. But who knows, man? With Martinelli playing through the center, Emile Smith-Rowe out on the wide, could have been more devastating for Arsenal there. But the goal, though, 31st minute, the goal. Brilliant build-up, Tierney picking out Saka, who scored from distance. Really good low-driven shot. Nathan Ake didn't keep close enough. And talk about Lacazette. I think Lacazette kind of drew Nathan Ake towards him, and in the end, kind of blocked the path for Ake to run and defend Saka. So it was some kind of training ground stuff that really worked. And Arsenal with the lead. I was stunned. I was almost rattled, to be honest. I was at work, and I was saying to myself, what the hell am I seeing here? We could be losing to this Arsenal team because they dominated the first half. City up until that point did not get a single shot on target. We couldn't get into their final third. We couldn't really build up anything to threaten them. Aaron Ramsdale could have taken out a newspaper if he wanted. And it was Edison who was the busier of the two goalkeepers. I was like, what the hell am I seeing here? Martinelli with another great chance in the 39th minute as well that was put wide. And look, there was another chance in the 43rd minute by Martinelli, who had a great first half. Bernardo with a giveaway. Martinelli with the run, almost scoring again. He had about 4 big opportunities in the game that he didn't score. But no shots on target, as I mentioned. First half there. None. None at all. Extra time, there was an opportunity. Corner for City. Ramsdale took that out of the air. And there was another opportunity, a free kick by De Bruyne. And, well, De Bruyne and Mahrez stood over the free kick, and Mahrez took it, but it was dealt with. I think that might have been the only shot on target for the entire first half. And Arsenal leading. That was the second time this season that City had trailed in the first half of any game this season. And the previous game was against a London club. We only lost to London clubs this season. Tottenham and Crystal Palace. And against Palace, City trailed at halftime and went on to lose the game 2-0. So I was getting that deja vu kind of vibes from that game, man. I was like, oh no, this is not happening all over again. And on a weekend where, you know, Chelsea, you know what I'm saying, Liverpool was playing, it was important that City win their game. You see what I'm saying? In a week where Liverpool and Chelsea dropped points previously, it was important that we followed it up with a win and not, you know, have him say, oh, ha, 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 you lost the game. You see what I'm saying? I bet you were talking all week about how Liverpool and Chelsea dropped points, and look, you were dropping points. I was fair in that. I was honestly fair in hearing that from you guys in the comments. But the character of a great team is how well they can bounce back. Not how well you could win and go ahead and whatnot, is how well you could bounce back when you are in the hole. Okay? I think Arsenal really deserved the lead at halftime. They looked the better team. They took the game to City. The game management was on point, and mentioning game management, that would have been key for them to hold on to the 3 points, which they later relinquished. Very positive approach in the first half, but the second half was a calamity. It was a total meltdown. The disparity between the second and the first half was as large as Lake Victoria. That's how big it was. I'm telling you, it was day and night. Day and night. And that give City the opportunity to get back in the game, smell blood in the water, pounced, and won. 54th minute. Xhaka tug on Bernardo Silva's shirt. Tug on Bernardo Silva's shirt. The ref waved it away initially, which I like that he did, because it showed that he was actually decisive. And he said, no, get up. I don't like what you did there. Get up. But VAR said, hey, man, I think we need to check this. And when on review, there was a clash of knees as well. That didn't really take Bernardo down. Or maybe somebody say he was going down already. I think it was not it was not a clear penalty. It was more of a very soft penalty. Well sold by Bernardo Silva. You got to be a good salesman, right? To be successful here. It's business. But what really did it for me, I know Bernardo kind of went down very easily, but the fact that the numbskull by the name of Granit Xhaka, who I talked about in the build-up, was having a great game up until then, but I talked about the fact that he could switch off at any moment. The fact that he held Bernardo's shirt, that was a penalty in any league. If you watch the Bundesliga, if you watch La Liga, if you watch Liga, if you watch the Champions League, that's a penalty. You're holding the man's shirt. You pulled him and you held it for a couple seconds. He goes down, meaning that he's trying to get the ball. You hold him. You stop his momentum. He goes down. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. Initially, it looks like it's not a clear penalty, but from review, it's a penalty. Whether it's soft or whether it was embellished a little by Bernardo, it's a penalty. A lot of times, when Mo Salah or Cristiano Ronaldo, when they win a penalty, you hear the commentators or you hear the pundits say that was clever, that was smart. But in other instances, they might say, it's embellishment. You see? It's the agenda. You see what I'm saying? But Mahrez stepped up to dispatch brilliantly. And the Algerian has been our best goal scorer this season. Which is, when you really think about it, you don't expect that. And I'm telling you guys, I was at work. And my reaction, I wish I had the opportunity to record my reaction like I used to do in the past. I was just punching. Literally, man. It felt so good. It was important. It was imperative that we get back in the game. And Arsenal, they just give us that small window of opportunity. And we took it. We took it in that moment. Great penalty dispatch by Riyad Mahrez, and you gotta give the City players a lot of credit. Sterling, Mahrez recently stepping up and taking penalties and scoring them. Because we know the penalty situation was a problem at Manchester City, and that is not a problem anymore. Not a problem anymore when you have the Algerian genius putting him in for fun. So, with that goal, 1-1. That was Mahrez' 6th Premier League goal of the season. Good return. Very good. Equalizing after that Bukayo Saka's goal. That was his 6th of the season. Tierney's 3rd assist. Arsenal are really, neat team, man. Neat team. And with that goal, it prompted a few substitutions. But I'm jumping the gun a bit. The substitutions, for City did come. Gundogan for Jesus, who had a frustrating game. But another big moment in the game. I forgot to actually talk a bit about the Gabriel yellow, the initial yellow. Xhaka did get a yellow for the foul on Bernardo Silva. But in the whole situation where they had to review the penalty, Gabriel got a yellow card for dissent. First, he scratched up the penalty surface, and then he went and yelled at the ref, which was brainless. Should have just calmed his ass down. He got a yellow. And as a defender, you're on a yellow, you're under pressure. Right? 2 minutes later, Gabriel Jesus released. There was so much happening in that moment, though. I'm not doing this in chronological order, but just before that happened, it was the moment where Laporte inadvertently almost headed the ball in the back of the net, and Ake, I should have checked my notes, but it was just all happening. You know what I'm saying? And the emotions are running wild as well. Ake with that clearance off the line. Oh, man, how big that was. And then, with Ederson trying to release Jesus with that goal kick, and then Gabriel held him back. In 5 minutes, Arsenal lost the game. 5 minutes. You play well for 90, and in 5 minutes, you lost the game. We weren't good. I'm not saying we were great in the game. We got very lucky. Arsenal deserved something, but they had a stink of a second half. So throughout that whole 5 minutes, let me just repeat because I got the thing in chronologically, I got it wrong. Xhaka pulling down Bernardo, VAR review, penalty given, Mahrez scoring, Gabriel yellow for scuffing up the spot and for dissent. Laporte almost heading the ball in the back of the net. Ake clearing it off the line. Martinelli unable to put the rebound in the back of the net. Also, almost open goal to put in. And then Edison's goal kick to Jesus. Jesus, tactical foul by the boy Gabriel Magalhães, fellow Brazilian, given a red card. Arsenal brought down to 10 men, capitulating. Jesus taken off, Gundogan on, Odegaard taken off, Rob Holding brought on, and I don't think Rob Holding made much of a difference. Arsenal should have just left things the way they were and maybe push Partey back in the defense or something. And Thomas Partey was huge in the game. Got to give credit to Thomas Partey as well. So the game was beginning to get a little cagey. Arsenal losing the plot. A lot of yellow cards being shown. I think we got lucky with a lot of the decisions that were made in the game throughout, even with the fouls. I was like, whoa, what is going on here? And people criticize the referee big time. I'm like, what is going on here? We're getting some really good calls. Thank you very much, though. Thank you very much. Holden did get a yellow on Kevin De Bruyne, which put pressure on Rob Holding, seeing that he just came on the field. Lacazette went off. Smith Rowe came on, and Smith Rowe looked good. Smith Rowe looked good as well. Not much more chances to really talk about, but City was just trying to get that second goal. Just get that winning goal, because a draw isn't enough at all. A draw is never enough. Dropping points is not good enough. And that goal, that Rodri goal. Rodri, one of the most underrated players who I think have added so much to his game this season. Stepped up big time. And you also got to give credit to Aymeric Laporte as well for just running forward, staying in the forward position. Rodri as well. These guys were playing as center forwards. You talk about false nine, it was Rodri and Laporte at that moment. But you also got to give a lot of credit to Kevin De Bruyne and the vision. He picked his head up. I was watching a game and I saw when he picked his head up and he noticed the position of these players. He got the ball in, and it was not very good defending at all by Arsenal. And I think it was Rob Holding who actually headed the ball to Laporte. De Bruyne tried to pick out Laporte and Rodri, and the ball fell to Arsenal head, and then it eventually fell to Rodri, who scored, scrappy goal, and his celebration was sensational. He took his shirt off and everything. Of course, you know, he got a yellow card for that one, but at that point, he didn't really care. Definitely didn't care, man. 2-1 to City. I went crazy. I wish you guys could have seen it, but I went crazy. I'm talking about yes, kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to reenact it, but I'm telling you, it felt damn good. I like these kind of games, though, that when we're not pushing teams aside 7-0, you know what I mean? And things like that. It's nice to scrap sometimes. It's nice to make things interesting sometimes. But it's just the title race, man. City's just running away with the title race. There ain't no title race. City's running away with the title, I should say. There ain't no title race. It's done. It's done. It is over. It is over. It's game over for the league. People might not want to admit it, but it's game over. Champions will be champions, and I think that was a champion performance. When back against the wall, City bite. Sometimes you have to come from behind. You don't always going to run away with the games. I think it was a massive performance by both teams. Arsenal unlucky not to get something, but City showed immense character and skill, held their poise, something that Arsenal failed to do, and picked up their 11th consecutive win in the league. And if you guys could recall, a guy by the name of Dominic, right, said back in October when I was looking forward at the fixtures, I said City are possibly going to win everything in November and everything in December. People said, Dom, what are you talking about? That ain't going to happen. But guess what? It happened. Clean sweep. Clean sweep. Clean sweep. Arsenal were building up a little momentum there. I don't think this would stop their momentum whatsoever. They should continue. They're still fourth. Big achievement this season. You just got to continue to build on what they have, achieved so far. They got to fight for the top four. It would be nice. It would be refreshing to see them back in the Champions League again. Quality performance by Arsenal. But it must be very frustrating for the Arsenal fans that they didn't hold on, but also optimistic that they did put up a fight and they were the better team. I think the better team did lose the game. I'm being 100. I think the better team on the day lost the game. But it's just because Manchester City just has this know-how of winning games. And they've had the drop on Arsenal across the last how many Premier League games? You see what I'm saying? So I think that played its part. So what we're going to do briefly is just take a quick look at the upcoming fixtures for Manchester City. Right? Let's take a quick look. We're not going to talk about the games that are gone. 11 wins on the trot. Let's just do something briefly. Man City's win today means they will end New Year's Day with an 11-point lead at the top of the Premier League table. In the competition's history, only Man United in the 93-94 and Man City in the 17-18, both 12 points, had a bigger lead at the end of January 1st in a season. Ridiculous. Man City boss Pep Guardiola has faced Arsenal more often in the league competition without losing than any other team throughout his whole managerial career. Played 12, win 11, drew 1. Arsenal have now lost 10 straight league encounters with Manchester City, whilst also losing their 8th Premier League game in a row against the competition's reigning champions. Very important to note, right? But let's just go back here to City and the games coming up. Swindon Town this Friday. That's my birthday coming up, guys, by the way. Wish me happy birthday. Chelsea on Saturday, January the 15th. That's a key game. City beat Chelsea already this season. And if Chelsea fail to win this game, they go further behind. Southampton, drop points to Southampton. Brentford recently beat. Look, these are going to be tricky games. Norwich, that should be a win. Then you got Sporting in the Champions League. You got Tottenham, Everton. You got United. You got some tricky games coming up. You got some tricky games coming up for the rest of the season, right? But guys, what I want to say, you take a look at the table. 21 games played, 17 left. 17 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. Best team in the league, best attack, best defense, right? 17 games left. A possible 51 points, which means City could still get 104 points. Do you guys really think that with 17 games left, with a fit team, that City are going to relinquish this lead? A 10-point lead? 10 points? Where even if they lose 2 games, they still got a little 4-point gap. And with Liverpool, you never know what's going to happen to them in the upcoming weeks. And if City do drop points, these are the teams that drop points too, because that's what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing. But big up to Arsenal, by the way, who, fought well. Should have got something. They play Liverpool, Forest, and Liverpool again in the cups. But in terms of the Premier League, big North London derby. They beat Tottenham early on in the season already. And then they got Burnley, Wolves, Brentford, a good run of games coming up, if you ask me, where they could continue to look and solidify their top 4 status. And guys, Big up to everybody in the stream. Thank you very much for sticking around. What are you guys saying right now? That's why Gabriel was frustrated. You're saying, how comes the referee in the league always check every foul inside the box but not looking for foul from Edison? They did. I think they did check the foul from Edison, but they deemed it not a penalty. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. So happy 50th birthday, right? More life and prosperity on your earth strong. Yeah, thank you very much. You are really showing off. I am not showing off. I'm talking facts. I already took the time. I'm 2 hours, 20 minutes in. I got to go to work in the morning, but I took the time to talk about all the other Premier League teams, and I didn't talk about City yet. So how am I showing off? Tell me, how am I showing off? If I was showing off, the first thing I would have did today was talk about Manchester City. So I don't know how you could say I'm showing off, man. You see what I'm saying? Really don't know how you could say I'm showing off. You see what I mean? Come on, bro. Come on. I'm not showing off at all. Not showing off. Arsenal, 29% possession, 2 shots on target. They were wasteful. They had opportunities. They didn't. Hey, D, you are within range. The fat lady sings. The fat lady has not sing as yet. Have fun for now. Listen, when the fat lady sings, City would still be on top. When the fat lady sings, City might actually be on top the fat lady. See what I'm saying? Telling me about when the fat lady sings. When the fat lady sings, we'll be on top the fat lady and on top the league. Anyways, man, listen. You got one more game to talk about. We're going to talk about that one right now and land the plane. All right? Let's land the plane, man. Let's land it. Great performance. I don't need to talk anything else about this game. Great performance to come back from behind. Overall, Arsenal, I think they did well. But what a team. Man City are massive. Massive. I could talk about individuals, but I'm not going to get into that. Not going to get into that. See what I'm saying? I think I did touch on a few instances, where players were good. Players had boo-boo. I think Nathan Ake wasn't at his best, but he did make up for it with the clearance off the line. But overall, solid. I like the Ake at left-back thing. See what I'm saying? Because defensively, he's a lot better than Zinchenko. Zinchenko, is solid passer, solid crosser and all. But yeah, man, let's move on, man. I could stay here all day and talk about City. But I like to give Arsenal the credit. Chelsea 2, Liverpool 2. Chelsea and Liverpool, y'all are playing games. Both of y'all. Y'all are playing games. I thought you were serious. I really thought you were. When it comes to this title thing, I thought you were serious. You're not. Pretenders at most. Thought you were really serious. Liverpool, 2-0 up. 2-0 up. And you give it away. I thought you were serious. Chelsea, you went 2-0 down. You managed to scrape back and, get a point. If you ask me, you should have lost the game. So I know Liverpool would be kicking themselves right now, the fact that they give up a two-goal lead. You see what I'm saying? With a Virgil van Dijk in defense. You know what I'm saying? Konate. You know what I mean? Like, best defense in the league. You know what I mean? I was like, God damn, I'm about to eat my words. I predicted a draw. Liverpool, bang, bang, 2-0 up. Chelsea, bang, bang, 2-0, 2-2. Draw, like I predicted a draw. It was a thrilling game, though. Thrilling game. Very good advert for the Premier League, if you ask me. But In the end, should have been a winner. But as a City fan, I love the result. As a City fan, I gotta say, it was a great week. United lost. Chelsea drew. And Liverpool drew. And we won. The only winner across the Premier League top teams, City here. Tottenham, they picked up a win, but let's talk about the relevant teams in terms of the title race. At the beginning of the season, the teams that were favorites, right? With the signings and things. Chelsea, Liverpool, City, United. Across the weekend, City the winner. We didn't play in the Liverpool versus Chelsea, the Chelsea-Liverpool game. We didn't play, right? And we still won that game. The United Wolves, we didn't play that game and we won that game too. We're winning other people's games. Think about it. Some next level type shit. Think about it. But yeah. Great result if you're a City fan, right? But if you're a Liverpool fan, you would be kicking yourself. You say, oh man, we should have won this game. Chelsea, I think, were fortunate to get back after the poor start. Very, very fortunate. Very, very fortunate if you ask me. So, I usually do an instant review of games, but I haven't had the chance to do so this weekend. And I gotta mention the whole Lukaku situation. It came at a bad time for Chelsea. This Lukaku situation came at a bad time for Chelsea. Lukaku, you chose the bad time. You chose a very bad time to talk about this. And I have to question your character. I have to question you. I got to question your intentions. I got to question your commitment. I got to question if you even have a brain in your head. This club, who you were once a part of, right? Were once a part of the club, right? And I saw that they have memes up of you kissing 4 different jerseys, right? The Everton, United, Chelsea, Inter, right? Whatever. You got some commitment issues, bro. This club went in and brought you back and paid 115 million euros. 115 million euros to bring you back. It has not gone as planned. You have gotten injured, picked up coronavirus, and then Tuchel thinks he's a tinker. See what I'm saying? Tuchel is a tinker. That's what he does. He tinkers with his team all the time. He has made the most changes of any managers this season. Look it up. You'll see exactly what I'm saying is right. He's experimenting all the time. Don't know why he's doing that. But Lukaku, even when he was fit again, found himself on the bench. So during that whole period, he must have done an interview with Sky Sports. It wasn't an interview that was done like a couple days ago. But it was an interview that was done, I think, a couple weeks ago. And no release from what I've heard. And Lukaku, the things you said in the interview, you can't be saying these things now. It's just not acceptable, bro. You have teammates, you have a manager that you got to respect, and you just can't be saying those things at the time you said the things. You're going to mess up the whole team dynamic and the whole psyche of the team and everything. And the fact that Chelsea are going through one of the worst periods, under Thomas Tuchel, where they're dropping points left, right, and center, it's the wrong thing. It's the wrong time. And if you're questioning the manager, you're messing with his integrity, and he's gonna be forced to act. And if he doesn't act, then he looks weak. So he now has to act. It's the same with the Arteta Aubameyang situation, and it worked out for Aubameyang. It worked out for Arteta. It worked out for Arsenal. Maybe not so much for Aubameyang. We're gonna find out, but I think it was the right decision to drop his ass. And it was also the wrong decision too, because he's coming up against Liverpool. And maybe he could have dealt with the situation a little bit differently and say, okay, you said what you said, but after the Liverpool game, we need to deal with this. Right? You get what I'm saying, right? It was the right decision, but maybe it was the wrong decision, seeing that the moment was too big to leave him out. But of course, it's not a one-man team, right? But the thing is, Lukaku was in form. He scored back-to-back. He scored in back-to-back games. And he would have been massive against Liverpool, who looked vulnerable on many occasions. So maybe Thomas Tuchel made a mistake. Maybe he did the right thing. They earned a point. But they still find themselves 10 points behind the top team. And Jurgen Klopp recently said in an interview after the Leicester loss, 6 points behind City is a lot, much less the 10. And this point gap could be stretched even further if Manchester City continue to win games. Like I said previously, Chelsea and Liverpool played, but it's Man City who won the game. You get it? Look, Lukaku should have been involved, but he said what he said. The manager act, maybe there was, from higher ups, they said drop his ass, whatever. He's out of line. Get him in line. Who knows what the future holds for Romelu Lukaku, right? At Chelsea. The other thing I want to mention with the whole situation too, right, is the fact that people like to say that City spend. Yeah, City do spend. I recently take a look at Pep Guardiola's signings. 100 mil, 70-something mil, 70-something mil, 70-something mil, 70-something mil. But it's on quality players. And it's on players that we don't just throw away the next season. You look at Chelsea, look at the money they paid for Kepa. He's the number 2 goalkeeper. Lukaku, most expensive player. What happened to him? Look at what's going on. Look at what's going on. This situation at Chelsea needs to be resolved really quick. The contractual situations as well. The egos in the club as well. There's players like, I'm pretty sure Pulisic's not happy. Hudson-Odoi is not happy. Ross Barkley can't be happy. Azpilicueta, he's leaving. Christensen's not happy. Rudiger's not happy with all the contract situations. So that's 6 players right there. Kepa can't be happy. That's 7. Lukaku's not happy. That's 8. Kai Havertz is always sick. Werner is not 100%. That's 10 players right there. Mason Mount isn't 100% happy too because, he was in and out of the team. N'Golo Kante is always injured now. Jorginho could only take penalties. You see what I mean? Edward Mendy's going to the African Cup of Nations. He's the one who's basically keeping Chelsea in games. Could I go on? Reece James is injured for 6 to 8 weeks. Ben Chilwell is out for the rest of the season. Do I need to go on? Trevor Chalobah isn't experienced enough. Do I need to go on? Do you want more? Loftus-Cheek isn't fit enough. Chelsea's not winning the title, guys. They're not winning the title. They'll be lucky if they even get top 4. Remember, I told you that. They'll be lucky if they get top 4. Their season is going down a slope right now. Bold thing to say, yes, Dom. Very bold thing to say. But you got to make bold statements. You got to make bold statements. Look, I ain't even start the review yet. And I've gone about 10 minutes in. Look, man. Changes. Havertz in, Chalobah in, Thiago Silva in, Alonso in, N'Golo Kante in. That's 5 changes made from the last game where Chelsea dropped points as well. That's 5 change. That's a lot of changes. Tuchel's changing up the team Too many changes. Drop points to Brighton. Of course, we know that, right? Jorginho, Reece James, Christensen, Hudson-Odoi, Lukaku, all out. For Liverpool, Klopp out, Alisson Becker out, Firmino, Matip with coronavirus, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Matip, and Alisson out from the last game with Konate, Milner, Kelleher in. And just to note, this was the first game where the Premier League running a trial on safe standing. First time in 28 years, and this is all on the whole Hillsbury tragedy back in 1989, where they outlawed standing in the stadium. So they're trying to bring that back. So this was the first game where they tried that, and there's a safe standing across a couple Premier League grounds for the trial. This game had so many talking points. 10 seconds into the game. 10 seconds. 10 seconds into the game. We like to talk about Premier League decisions. We like to talk about cities getting this, who's getting kind decisions, who's not getting decisions, who referees this. Sadio Mane should have been sent off in 10 seconds. 10 seconds in the game, he should have been off the field. Off the field. Off. That elbow on Aspilicueta was intentional. Very intentional. It's just that he caught him with this, the back. If he didn't, it messed up Aspilicueta's eye. But if he didn't catch him if he caught him with the pointy part, would have got a straight red. But he should have got a straight red. Should have got a straight red. If this had happened 20 minutes into the game, it would have been a red. And I think this is the earliest yellow card ever in the Premier League. 10 seconds. Just crazy when you think about it. But Mane should have got sent off. He's very lucky to not get a red card. Some people may say, Dom, what are you talking about? Guys, he should have got he should have got a red card. That was intentional. That was as intentional as it gets. Believe me. Believe me. You might not agree, but there's some people who would definitely agree with me. VAR did take a look at it, and it was just a yellow, though. Just a yellow. And Mane coming into the game with no goals in 9 games. Of course, we know what happened a few minutes later. But Salah did get a chance. Saved by Edward Mendy. Very good save. And it was a very open game of football. Chelsea did get a lot of the ball. Liverpool more on the back foot. But Kelleher, who stole the ball off Pulisic's feet. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Who want to stand up for this guy again? Who wants to stand up and fight for this guy again? After what they've seen in that game, who want to stand up and fight for him in terms of the defensive side of his game? Attack? Yeah, man, of course. Trent is really good. Very good. He's so good that I think Liverpool should start playing Trent Alexander-Arnold as a winger. The games that Salah and Mane is not here, play Trent as a winger. Play Nico Williams or Joe Gomez as a right back. You heard it here first. Maybe somebody else said it. But play Trent as a winger, and that's your solution. Your solution for the absence of Salah and Mane is to play Trent as a winger. Play Nico Williams or Joe Gomez as a right back. That's it. And it should be Joe Gomez, because what you end up with, you'll be getting a defensive right back that'll stay in position. And Trent could stay up the field where he wants to be all the time. Think about what I'm saying here. Smart. Smart. You got Jota in the middle. You got, who else could play over on the wings there? You got Origi should come back in. You see what I mean? You got Curtis Jones fit again. You got Oxlade-Chamberlain. Liverpool could navigate the AFCON pretty well if they're smart. Okay? But anyways, we get back to the whole Christian Pulisic situation. He should have scored, but he dilly-daddled on the ball. Credit to Kelleher. But Trent Alexander-Arnold, I don't know what he's thinking, why he's trying to take another touch there, and he almost got punished. The goal came in the 9th minute. Trevor Chalobah, bro. What in the world are you thinking? Jota with a brilliant driven ball into the box. Why in the world would Trevor Chalobah try to header such a low ball? And he messed it up. Fell nicely to Mane. Mane went around the defender in the back of the net just like he wasn't in a goal drought, right? 8th goal of the season, I think, for Sadio Mane. And with him not scoring in so many games, you're like, damn, he had 7 already. That's how well Mane started the season. But he fell off a bit. And that's responsible for Liverpool dropping behind in terms of points and everything. And they're now 3rd in the league. You see what I'm saying? It's because of players like Mane being inconsistent this season. And he's had opportunities, especially in the game against Leicester, right? Liverpool should have never lost that game. So that's back-to-back games that both Liverpool and Chelsea dropped points in. As I said, City's been winning all week. All week. Good goal. Good goal by Mane. Good ball by Jota. Poor defending by Trevor Chalobah. Very, very poor. But what a start to the game, though. 10 minutes in, and it was like helter-skelter. A great advert for Premier League football. Second goal came after, a little cagey period there. 26th minute. Mo Salah. Another brilliant, brilliant goal. But this is where I give Trent Alexander-Arnold the credit, man. Very good link-up play. Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Salah with the run. Trent picking him out. Cutting apart this Chelsea defense. Set up under Thomas Tuchel, You know Chelsea's supposed to be you know how good they were last season under Tuchel, right? I don't know what happened. They were sliced up, Swiss cheesed up. Salah running right through. What I like is when Salah give Alonso the drop. He told Alonso to go over there, and then he went the opposite way. I was like, God damn. And to beat Mendy at his near post, that was a brilliant, brilliant goal. That was a good goal. 2-0. I couldn't believe it. I'm saying to myself, these Liverpool fans are going to get at me right now. When I get off work, I'm going to talk about this game. People are going to flock to the video. It's going to get 20,000 views because, the Liverpool fans, they love when they win. And a big win against Chelsea. I'm saying this is going to get ugly today. Liverpool are going to smash Chelsea 4-0. The way it's looking, oh boy. Nothing like that happened. Nothing like that happened, man. But at that point, Chelsea they were not bad. There were just a few lapses that let them down. They were not bad at all. They were really not so bad in the game. You see what I'm saying? Liverpool were playing on the back foot for the most part, catching Chelsea against the run and play on the counter. And at that point in the game, I'm like, okay, Salah score, Mane score. What are Liverpool going to do? What's Liverpool going to do without these guys when they go to the African Cup of Nations, right? They're really, really leaning on these guys heavily. Talking about 16 goals for Salah and 8 for Mane. That's 24 goals, along with maybe about 12 to 14 assists. You're going to lose. But luckily for Liverpool, it's not a lot of games, right? But you never know. These players could get injured at the African Cup of Nations. You don't want that, but it's a possibility. These African players, they tackle rough. The fields are not the best. Anything could happen. You don't want to risk it, right? But it is what it is. 36-minute big tackle for Chalobah on Salah after Pulisic mistake. Nothing happened with that one. 42nd minute, Havertz fouled. A free kick he took, saved by Kelleher. Brilliant, brilliant from a tight angle. And his punch actually set up Mateo Kovacic for what is one of the goals of the season so far. He doesn't score many. That's his second of the season. But when the boy Kovacic scores him, he scores him. And they're spectacular. That was a brilliant goal. I almost lost it silently, but I was in my mind, there was like this mini explosion going on. I was like, God damn, what a goal. What a goal. Chelsea back in the game. Chelsea back in the game. And it didn't take long for them to get a second. But it was a sensational goal. Well-deserved goal, if you ask me, for Chelsea and the work they had done at that point in time in the game. The Pulisic goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold involved again with the poor header. Rudiger won it and drove towards the attacking third. N'Golo Kante picking out Pulisic. Very good goal by Captain America, who's been under some pressure. Very good volley. 2-2. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, Chelsea, back from the dead. I was already putting out some tweets on my Twitter. I'm like, let's all laugh at Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe what's going on. Chelsea fans rattled. But at that time and point, it was Liverpool fans being rattled. 2-2. Momentum with Chelsea. There was another chance. Watched wide by Kelleher, by Mason Mount, and I think not Hakim Ziyech. He wasn't involved. That's the thing. These guys are, that's another player who's not 100% happy as well. So 2-2 at halftime, and that's how it ended. But just for some other notes, 51st minute good break by Chelsea. Kante picked out Alonso, blasted the ball over. A save, Mendy from Salah's shot from way out. That was a brilliant strike. Almost caught Mendy out, but that was one of the saves of the season as well. That was brilliant, though. That was really, really good. Mane and Salah linked up well. Right-footed shot by Mane, saved again by Edward Mendy, who's actually, let's say if it was Kepa, Chelsea would have been like 7th in the league right now. Seriously. Thomas Tuchel would have probably got sacked already. It's Mendy. Mendy has kept Chelsea in the league because it seems like Rudiger alone can't really hold up the defense. It's always, his partner is always changing. If it's not Thiago, it's Chalobah, it's Christensen. You know what I'm saying? And you got Paul Gino ahead of them not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Kante is always injured these days. So he's not a full pelt. Kelleher, though. Kelleher kept Liverpool in the game as well. Big save. Pulisic with the shinned shot. But Kelleher was equal to the task. Few substitutes made to try to bring impetus in the game. But nothing really much to talk about towards the last 20 minutes or so, where I was actually getting ready to come home from work. And, you know what I mean? I hate watching games trying to get home from work as well. Very tricky period for me. But nothing really else to talk about. I did walk with my notebook in my locker room and everything, but I didn't need to use it. 2-2. It ended. I was happy that it ended 2-2 as a City fan, though. But overall, it was a great game. I think Liverpool would actually root a chance to pick up 3 points against Chelsea. And both games against Chelsea this season, both games between these two teams, end in a draw. First, a 1-1, very controversial game. Reece James got a red. And now the one at Stamford Bridge finished 2-2. So the teams are unable to separate themselves from each other this season. But in terms of the title race, the so-called title race, City did beat Chelsea. City draw Liverpool. Let's see what happens next time Manchester City play against Liverpool or when Chelsea play against City. These games are the games to watch. There's some time between the Liverpool and City game, but Chelsea versus City is coming up very, very soon. So, look, if Klopp was on the touchline instead of Pep Linders, would it have been a different result? Maybe. It's hard to remotely manage teams. Klopp would have said, hey, man, he would have done things after he was 2-0 up to keep that lead and preserve the lead and manage the game. And it could have been a different game. Chelsea, I don't think they'll be happy with this result, happy with how they went behind, but they'll be happy that they came back. But they got a mini crisis going on, a big crisis, I should say, going on at the club right now, where the team is not together, in my opinion. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ego going on. There's selfishness in the team right now. And this is where it could all fall apart. This is where it could all fall apart. Not much more else to add. If I'm thinking about some things, I have to also, I got to talk about the fact that Big Virgil van Dijk have looked a bit average this season. It's been good, but not to the levels that we've seen him before. Who else agree with that one? Big Verge has not been the same. I don't know why, but he's just not been that guy. Really haven't been that guy. Jordan Henderson has been getting a bit of flack from the supporters as well. Definitely has not played to high levels, but you cannot be fickle. At one time, you cannot be talking about how Jordan Henderson is so good, how he's a leader, and then one moment you're talking shit about him. You know what I mean? Also, you're not gonna really. I like when they try to bring on James Milner to think that he's gonna do anything. You need more than that. You need more than that. I think Liverpool needs more. Liverpool needs more than just Mane, Salah, and Jota. They need more. More players need to step up. Where's Thiago when you need him? You see what I'm saying? And this is where you know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like, come on. It is what it is. It is what it is. But guys, good game. Point apiece. Chelsea second, Liverpool third. Liverpool with a game in hand. So if Liverpool do win their game in hand, that's against Leeds, they would only be, what? 6 points behind Manchester City. What, 553? No. 8 points. Still an 8-point gap. That is still an 8-point gap. That's a big gap, man. 8 points is a lot. 8 points is a lot. You see what I'm saying? Chelsea, 10 points. Liverpool, let's say 8. If they draw to Leeds, it'll be more. It'll be more. For Liverpool, their next game is against Arsenal in the Cup, Shrewsbury in the Cup, Arsenal again the second leg semi-final of the Carabao Cup. But the Premier League, without Mane, Salah, they do have Brentford and they do have Crystal Palace. I think Salah and Mane should both be back, barring if they both make the final or one of them make the final where they play Leicester City on the 10th of February. They should be back by then. But the Brentford and the Crystal Palace games will be key. Teams that Liverpool should, fancy themselves beating without those two guys. But when you look at the goals and the assists, it's Salah and Mane, you know what I mean? As for Chelsea, who I think are in a little bit more, they're in a better position, seeing that it's only Mendy is going. And they could be positive and say Kepa would step up. We know he'll step up in the cup. We know that. If there's a penalty shootout, he'll do well. You got 3 cup matches. I think Kepa would play all 3. Or maybe Bettinelli would play the game against Chesterfield where you would look to give Kepa a bit of break. But when you play the game against City and against Tottenham, listen, those games could be 2 L's for Chelsea. It could be 2 L's. So my thoughts, man. It's been 2 hours, 53 minutes. I never expected to go this long, but I did. 12:24 local time. And it is what it is. See what I mean? Big up to the boy Mike. I've seen you, but I didn't want to actually interrupt the stream to shout out to anybody. I actually want to clip that section out and put it out. Mendy needs more credit. Definitely. MVP Kev, bro. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Seeing you guys, all of you guys will stick around for the whole stream. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are the real deal. How many likes you got on the video? We got 55 likes. So if you're in here and you're yet to like the video, make sure you do so. Let's get it up to 60. And let's do so for consistency, man. Stink Mina, ZA in the house. How are you doing? What else we got? Who else we got? JaVale Kovacic with the goal of the year. I don't know if it's a goal of the year. It's a good goal, but I feel there's been good goals across. Salah's goal was good, very good. Rodri's goal was very good. There's been a few overhead kick goals as well. You know, so let's not get carried away at all with that one. Antoine Eugene, bro, big up yourself. Big up everybody in here, man. You know, who came through. Angel Abel. Everybody, Phil Jones, bro, I played today. I know you weren't too bad at all. You weren't too bad. Dumb Straight just hated on Chelsea for about 30 minutes. Let that Champions League final go. Nah, bro, I didn't. I'm talking facts. I'm talking facts, man. Man tore his ACL, can't be prime John Terry the next season, especially in Liverpool's high line. Yep, stink me enough. Liverpool is conceding too many goals right now. Could come back to haunt them in the Champions League. It's a different competition, but let's see how that... I think they'll be fine in the Champions League, though, at least until the last 8. So, guys, do appreciate everybody who turned out today. I got to go get some sleep because in about 4 hours, I got to get up to go to work again and do it all over again. You know what I mean? I would like to actually take some time to look at the other leagues across Europe and all of that, but I can't do that, man. I really can't do that. But in terms of the Premier League, guys, let's take a quick look at the fixtures that's coming up, man. Let's just see what's in store for the league. There's a FA Cup and a Carabao Cup, of course. And don't take my word for it, but maybe tomorrow night I'll come. I think I will tomorrow night come and do a preview for those games. I will do a preview for those games. Actually, that'll be nice. Sometime late in the night, get a live stream out and talk about, you know, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup that's coming up as well. So let's take a look at the Carabao Cup really quick. Carabao Cup really quick. Carabao Cup, we got tomorrow. We got games, 2:45 p.m. Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham. You know, I think I'm staying back at work late. So hopefully I'm in a position to watch both those games, right? Tether from one phone to the other. And that's what's going on tomorrow. I will actually want to, you know, talk about, well, I said tomorrow I want to talk about those. I can't do it. I can't talk about the Carabao Cup. Let me see. One game playing tomorrow, the other one on Thursday. Yeah, so Chelsea, Tottenham. I was thinking, I don't know why I was thinking I had time to actually. Oh yeah, I do. What am I thinking? I do. It's already midnight. So later today, we'll talk. Yeah, get it together. Later today, it's late. Later today, because I'm like, tomorrow? I can't do it tomorrow. Yeah, later today, we'll do a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup preview. We'll do that. We'll dedicate tomorrow's, later today, live stream for FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and we'll look to check out what's going on around Europe because we haven't done that recently. Let's take a look at the FA Cup to make sure we are aware of what's going on and make sure we're on point. Friday, the games start. Friday's my birthday, and the game will be between Swindon Town and Manchester City. Then Saturday and Sunday, there's games. All Saturday, there's games. Sunday, there's games. And, of course, they like to play. I don't know why they put in Man United to play on Mondays recently, you know. So we'll have an FA Cup roundup sometime soon. And there's the African Cup of Nations. There's a lot of work for me to do where I actually have to get a prediction video out. The boy Michael, Doug, all of them already did that. You know what I mean? And I'm still not put out a prediction video. I've done an early prediction, but I have to revisit the early prediction video, and I have to do a prediction of the African Cup of Nations group stages. It shouldn't be hard because I should be, you know, fresh in the head from the World Cup qualifiers and all of that. So let's see how that one goes. So guys, look, man, it's late. Ademola, look, man. You know, I know Liverpool fans don't want to hear that name right now. But look, man, it's late. I'm about to head on upstairs. I'm kind of hungry. I shouldn't eat nothing, but maybe I have a banana or some grapes or something or an apple or whatnot. I went food shopping today. You can tell, right? Yeah, you can tell. I had a busy day, really busy day. I'm about to go rest, get up, do it all over again. 2022 is the year that I plan to grind. I plan to make a lot of money in 2022. Multiple streams of income, guys. And I suggest you do the same. I came up with a theory. If for the next 2 years, I manage to grind, take care of myself at the same time, it'll help me to lose some weight because I'm going to be on the go. I'm going to be very busy, very active, get some time for exercise as well. I could pay off some debt, and I could save so much money that it could help me to maybe relax for a year or two and maybe just do YouTube and something light and enjoy life, travel, you know what I'm saying, a bit. But guys, I'm going to leave you with that golden nugget. From your boy Dominic Rich, thanks a million to everybody who tuned in tonight. We had a nice little turnout, over 50 people for a very long time. There's still 47 of y'all in here right about now. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for sticking around and for supporting the thing all 2021. Guys, the numbers at the back end, the best numbers I've had, 2021. Let's make 2022 a bigger year. It's very difficult. Let me tell you that. It's very difficult, especially when you go shopping for 3 hours in the cold and to come and go 3 more hours here. It's very difficult. So y'all support the thing any way you can. Appreciate it. So from your guy, Dominic Rich. From your boy, not your guy. From your boy, Dominic Rich. Thanks again for tuning in. Until next time. Peace out. Rich Squad. I damaged my freaking touchscreen on my laptop, man. I could have just touched it and turned up the damn volume. Now I have to press all kind of buttons, man. So big up to y'all, man. Mike, peace.